and me. If the cap fits, put that cap on. Tighten it up. Stop taking the caps off these people. Eat and drink with, some will eat and drink with you. And behind you, they piss upon you. That's not the word, but that's how it works. Good morning, everybody. Hang on. Down. Man to man is so unjust. Children, you don't know who to trust. Good morning. Good morning. I'm not ready to go. The pie is done. I'm not done. If the cap fits, let them wear it. If the cap fits, don't take that cap off. Put that cap on tighter. Put the cap on tighter. If the colonizer, warrant after murderers and killers and thou shalt kill, let it fit. And if they get you high to start a war, all right, hang on a second. I was having some fun this morning. I couldn't believe, oh, stop it, Jasmine, you in the background. Listen, you should have spent more time in the Catholic Church. I got a theory. Let me know if I'm right or wrong. And it's not really my theory. I kind of listen to other people say things and I'm like, you know what? That actually kind of makes some sense. All right, hang on, let me get ready. I'm not ready. Y'all know when the Catholic Church got the incense and they bring them little abused boys out there and they hand the priest the incense? Was that always incense? Because I'm thinking about some things. I heard a theory that it was not incense. What else would make a grown man want to leave his house, his farm, his wife and safety and freedom and all of that great stuff to go out onto the fields and crusades and fight foreign people in a foreign land with a foreign God that ain't got nothing to do with you? An experience of God. Hang on, let me show you this. I'm not ready. I'm still working on my background. I finally got YouTube on time, but I'm not on time because slavery is a mother. Capital is a hell of a drug. Capital-based conflict societies are a hell of a drug. I'm doing the best that I can. Hang on, look at my background together. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about? Like, what would make people defy every single commandment in their holy book? What would make people do that? If they were in the cathedral and the king and the pope got together and they decided, you know what? We got to get these dummies out to fight. And the problem is a few of them scriptures we ain't changed. There's a few that, you know what, they're going to get in the way of war and domination and getting slaves from other nations and stealing what everybody got. Coveting thy neighbors' wives and slaves and sheep and cattle and lands. What if they got together and decided, you know what, we're going to take this incense out here because the people from the land of Canaan done gave us something that gives us godlike experiences. Why we can't leave our hands off them little boys in the back. Woo, smoking priests. I think that's the only way you get people to go to war and defy every single scripture because we got this is critical today. Because what will get people off going to murder other people and steal what they got, and you got the wife and kids at home, you're going to leave them with the sheep and cattle, and you got vagrants and robbers in the land. You got to get them high in church. Is this where the colorful windows came from? Stained glass. Because I have friends who are the psychedelic people, cannabis people. I ain't never smoked it, so I don't think that this is the get high cast. I just got questions. If you put cannabis in the incense burner, what if it wasn't even an incense burner? What if it was a sativa burner? You know, the varieties of sage that'll get you high. And they just put them out there in church and everybody had this psychedelic experience in church and they prayed Jesus, jumping around, flipping around, going nuts and crazy. Oh my God, I'm feeling God. Oh Lord, is this where the kick step came from? Because you go to them churches, they get the kick stepping. Because that's the black church. Y'all been to a black church? Y'all been to that? No, the white churches do it too. Y'all, you got to find 3 and 5, but that's not the point. You get to feeling it, and is that where that came from? They get to hopping and I'm feeling the Holy Ghost. Holy Ghost. No, it's the land of Canaan, because they done need you to go to war. I don't know. I got questions. Things ain't adding up in my head. I'm just wondering. Is that where that came from? Because some of y'all are looking into that stuff. Because what else would get people to defy everything the aliens said? Defy everything. Just go out there now shot stealing and murdering and killing and destroying and pillaging and looting and raping. You got to have an experience from the high aliens. The psychedelic gods. That's what I kind of think. It's my theory. I'm working on it. I'm not sure it's true. You probably shouldn't believe it if you hear me say it. I'm just guessing. I have no idea. But it makes some sense to me. Because isn't that what's happening today? Ooh. But they're getting you high on something else. They ain't getting you high on the Cana supply. That's not what they're getting you high on. They get you high on politics. Politics. We gonna bring back the temple. We gonna burn some people down and kill some people and shoot some people and get behind the efforts to bring back Yeshua Christ. Oh gosh, I don't know. It's adding up. They just did the priest doesn't have to get you high this time because we ain't the smartest people in the land. We ain't because the people in the land of Canaan ain't guys. They get you high on television now. They get you high on the media. Now it's okay to shoot children and put tanks, roll tanks out there and blow up some temples and rebuild temples because they don't get you high. They get you high in your ignorance. All right, I'm sorry. That was a long intro. Oh yeah, they're doing the James Brown. Lord, you remember James Brown flipping and jumping and flying? Did they get high in that church when they got the band back together? Because I think that's what they had to do back then. They had to get a band together, a band of vagrants to go off and murder and shoot and colonize and destroy some stuff. Hang on. That's it. I was curious about that. Because some derivatives of sage that get you high. Maybe the priest didn't know. Maybe somebody swapped the supply in the back. That could have been what happened. I just got theories and questions, people. Theories and questions. I ain't got no answers for you. I ain't got no answers for you. Anyway, good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing this morning? Some people out there, they ain't seen the background like, oh, we gonna talk about drugs. Nope, we talk about religion. It ain't too different. It ain't too different. If you can give people a holy experience, you can claim that it came from their God. Oh, they will defy that God. They will slap that God silly. They'll throw away every single scripture. Just throw it all away. Like they're doing today. Yeah, Gerard never inhaled. No, I never inhaled, Rebecca. I didn't inhale. I tried. I wasn't too smart though, Rebecca. I was trying. But I went to school with the African kids. And the African kids, they wanted to make fun of the American kids. So they would take oregano and grind it up and sell it to the American kids. And we just stupid as the day is long because we had this war on drugs. We ain't know the damn difference. And we ain't cooked nothing because we ate at McDonald's. So we had no idea what oregano smelled like. So we light up that oregano. Oregano! You would not get us colonizing on it. That just ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen. Colt 45 and get you there every time. That oregano burning in the fire, that ain't gonna do it. Good morning, how y'all everybody doing this morning? Good morning, brother Tony and Jonathan. How y'all doing this morning? Have you seen the light, Jonathan? Have you seen the light? They see the light and they all right, we need to go kill some people and steal everything they have. We need to go find just groups of women and rape them. And isn't that what's happening right now? This is not a hit on the right. If you think it was a hit on the left too, because y'all sending weapons all over the Middle East, causing all kind of conflicts, giving the warlords the weapon to rape entire towns of women. So it ain't just them. We're in an apocalypse. And all I'm trying to say is if the cap fits, put that mother on. Just tight. You know what? If the Crusader cap fits, just wear it proudly. Don't lie to us. Just go ahead and put that cap on. Say, I'm a Crusader. I hate God. Because I'm a Republican and I hate the Republic. Got patriots yelling and screaming, cheering for the banks now. I'm a Democrat. I can't stand no damn democracy. Whew. Okay, I'm done. That's it. I had to get it out. How's everybody doing? Hey, everybody. How y'all doing this morning? How y'all doing? How you doing? How your mama doing? All right, live from Kenya, Africa, as always. Good morning, guys. Got live from Kenya, Africa. Oh my goodness, it ain't that a thing. Oh brother, oh my goodness. If the cap fits Obama, put that thing on. Y'all stop, brother. They keep taking the cap off Obama. I keep trying to strap it back on. If you sent AFRICOM to destroy Africa, roll out military bases and drone bases to keep the colonizer fake governments in place, the puppet governments to steal everything Africa got. If you killing, wasn't it Gaddafi? was going to give Africa a gold currency so Africa lift itself up. It doesn't need nobody's help. It just needs the Americans to stop being stupid. And the British, stop being stupid. Everybody, focus on yourself. I was listening to Saj Guru this morning. Saj Guru was saying that the earth is on fire. It's a bonfire because everybody's looking for happiness and then milking it out the earth. We got to find our If you find happiness in burning up the earth, you find happiness in milking the earth for your happiness, you need to look from within. You had no damn idea what happiness is. You feel happy around the bonfire. You can go take all your furniture in your house and start a bonfire in the front yard. Oh my goodness, I live in Pennsylvania. I got to tell y'all a little bit of stuff. The last bonfire I went to, they done had cabinets in there and furniture. I think it might have been a sofa. And the fire department was right there next to me. The guy had burned up somebody's furniture in the bonfire. I enjoyed it. I got pictures on Facebook where my kids were there. We having a great time with that bonfire. But if you gotta burn up where you live, you gotta burn up all your furniture, you gotta burn up Bolivia and burn up Venezuela and burn up Syria and burn up Palestine and burn up Kenya and all that. If you got to burn up the whole country, the whole world to get your happiness, maybe you're getting your happiness in the wrong place. Maybe you should go to the Catholic Church and discover the gifts from the land of Canaan. All right, I'm sorry. I'm just joking. I don't know. Don't get me with that, you hate speech. I asked everybody this morning, I said, who are your favorites on social media? You should know who they are because they've been in Facebook jail. If you have not been in social media jail, you ain't saying nothing. I'm sorry, you need to go to jail more. That's how you know that NATO is not interested in you. That's how you know the Global Alliance, the Aleutian Alliance, whatever these criminals and bastards are behind NATO, censoring social media. If you find me in 2020 that's been banned on social media, please send me their name. They might have said something true. Everything else is a lie. Don't be stupid. If the cap fits, let them wear it. If they're not banned on Facebook, social media, Google, not losing channels and deleting pages, then they ain't saying nothing important. They're making it up. They're standing behind the banks that are keeping you enslaved. I'm done. That's it. How's everybody doing this morning? Good morning. What we talking about today? What's happening around the world? What's scary? I was telling a sister last night, just listen, everybody, don't worry. Just be happy. Don't worry. Don't worry. Because, at the end of the day, you actually can't do nothing about it. You can try all you like. You can be upset. You can doomsday prep. You can get your bug out bag, your guns, your bunkers, your food, and get all ready to go. We gonna survive the apocalypse, boys. And that drone dropped a bomb on your house first. You'd be the first. You know what? I think when the apocalypse comes, the people who prepare the most probably gonna be the people who make it out. They're probably gonna be the people the first they're gonna put on that bus. Anyway, love seeing you in my vegetation. G Jasmine, that's not supposed to be your vegetation. You working on other things. I'm not putting nobody on blast, but you're working on other things. You supposed to smoke a little less of what they did in the church to get people to go war on other people. You're supposed to not do that around those times. I'm not gonna put nobody on blast. Don't like to tell nobody business. Facebook jail is the only jail I ever been in. Trish, well, you saying something truthful. You should run for president then. You should run in Congress, the Senate, because that means you're saying something that's true. If it's not being shut down by the global elite and the billionaires media, then you're not saying anything. Has Bernie been banned on Facebook yet? Has he? Anybody? Trump, did he get banned on Facebook? How long did Ocasio spend in social media jail? Or are they getting along? They getting up to getting along, selling out, but you like them, and so you willing to take that cap off of them. Got his godly robe on and weed fields. No, this is not a robe, Tony. This is a I don't even know what this is. Tony, this is a shirt I bought years and years ago. I don't buy no clothes. I ain't got no time for that. Ain't nobody got no time for buying clothes made from slave cotton, stolen from people all over the planet. I just so old, Tony. Don't even know what this. Tony, this is not a robe. It's a shirt. It's just so damn out of style. It's probably from a style 30 years ago. Oh my goodness. I don't buy clothes. I'm trying to be a minimalist. I'm doing my best. I am doing my best. I am so sick. We got the brother from Africa right here and other people. I'm doing my best to stop harming their nation. I'm doing my best to listen to what that God has said in them scriptures before y'all got high and became colonizers. I'm trying to protect the children of God that's going all over this planet, that God keeps sending here, that the conservatives keep trying to send back with the progressives. It is not conservative nor progressive to murder people and steal what they have. That's called gang violence. Okay, that's called gang mentality. Yeah, look at this style, Donna Christine. I kind of like it. I kind of like it. Y'all ain't got nothing to talk about. We can go to the news. Somebody give me something to talk about, or I'm gonna read comments, because otherwise you gonna get the Catholic people upset with me. I don't understand the Catholic Church. I grew up in the Baptist and Methodist and non-denominational. The Catholic Church, a little creepy. I love y'all to death, but it was a little creepy. Because in the prayer come, they got that bench. They got the extra bench. Because you got the pew and you got that extra prayer bench thing. I didn't know what that was. I thought a shot went off. I know I was in the Catholic Church, and it was time to pray. Time to pray. We didn't do this in the black church, y'all. It's time to pray. All I heard was boom, 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 all over, because everybody's putting that prayer bench. I ducked. I grew up in the Washington, D.C. area. You don't never know. That go off. You don't never know if it's boo-boo and tank firing it off, or the police down over there. Everybody's shooting. Homeland Security come around the corner. Anyway, is that Daniel's background? No, I don't know if Daniel's myrrh. No, it's definitely not myrrh. No, that's not myrrh, Ivana. You myrrh. I think you can melt myrrh. Can you melt myrrh down? Frankincense and myrrh and gold. I don't know. Myrrh didn't come from the land of Canada, but when Christ went to the upper room, he didn't heat up the myrrh. He didn't heat up the that would not get you there. Wake and bake. Oh yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, Brother Tony's doing some rants. He's getting blocked and banned and stuff like that. But that's what the question I'd ask people is, who are the people you follow and how often have they gone to Facebook jail? That's probably how you know they're saying some things that are true. Yes, Patricia is a weed, grows all over this planet, and that's how you know it's very healthy for your immune system. I was trying to tell somebody that the other day. I tried to explain it to them. Grows all over this planet. So prolifically healthy. Your body made an endocannabinoid system just to derive the benefits, the nutrients and minerals and cannabinoids all over your body. So important. It's preventative. This is not a medicinal plant, people. This is not drugs. This is called salad. Okay, salad. You know what salad is? It's a deep leafy green that'll keep you away from the hospital and the doctor. No, an apple a day will not keep no damn doctor away. That'll send you to the doctor, because they put they got the GMO Arctic apple down, put pesticides and fungicides just to grow the damn thing. Because very few apple growers actually grow the apples in the region that's supposed to grow them. The cannabis a day, a damn sure keep the doctor away. I made all that up, but it's true. Hemp too, hemp a day, keep the doctor away. But your government don't want to tell you that. They want to sell you some drugs. They got to sell you the synthetic drugs, the ones that flip your DNA, make you crazy, stupid, blind, crippled, and depressed. Always is about money. It's always about money. It's a preventative plant, people. Eat that plant up. Don't smoke it and go start a crusade. Eat that plant. Eat the plant. I'm not saying don't smoke it, but do that on your spare time. In the morning, you're supposed to put it in your oatmeal. You're supposed to put it in your salad. You're supposed to put it in your smoothie. You're supposed to eat it up, because you're a carnivore. You're a herbivore. You've been eating that since the beginning of time. And if you don't, your body will be in a state of dis-ease, and you get that disease, then the cuckoo virus there, and then you got some real problems. All right, there we go. Oh, opium. Somebody talking about, I don't know nothing about opium. What is that? Not cannabis? What if it was opium? It could be, Citizen Deb. We know it came from the East. That's all we know. It came from the East. The herbs that they used to heat up came from the East. It could have been opianabis. Because opianabis. Because they didn't put the cannabis with the opium and a whole bunch of other stuff. They had to get them people high. Citizen Deb, they had to get. What will make you leave home? Because to leave home, not to just go kill and murder other people, but how about leaving home to go work for corporations that are killing and murdering people, stealing what they got? Go Wall Street, a black market prison, and die. And people want to vote for that, so I have no idea. Could have been. The government takes your money. That is not right. They can't go make their own money. A spider web effect occurs when people need stuff they can't afford, but yet we're supposed to be equal. Oh, Missy shutting it down this morning. We don't make each other equal. We are in a selfish world with selfish people. Yes, Miss. Go on, say it, Miss. Can't pronounce your last name. Absolutely. Assange Guru said that this morning. Said Missy, he said this morning that we burning up the planet, trying to milk it like it's a big cassava melon. Trying to milk it, trying to milk our happiness out of a world where we know we're supposed to find happiness from within. So absolutely, no, I'm not crazy, Norma. I'm not crazy. I was born on Cuckoo Planet. I'm not crazy, Norma. Well, maybe a little bit. I was born on Planet of the Apes, and I'm fighting to get out this ape DNA. Everybody's else fighting to stay in it. I'm not crazy. I'm just losing my mind. There's a difference. I'm losing my mind because I'm surrounded by nutty people. And I love to death. There's no way, Gerard, is this hype from drinking coffee only? Oh, you think it's hype? I don't think it's hype, Ivana. Would you go fight somebody, Ivana? What would you do? What would make you leave your husband, leave your babies at home, take up a sword, get on a boat with a bunch of funky people with no soap and shies, and you got the horses too, you brought your food, the sheep, and they poo-pooing everywhere and peeing on the boat, and you gonna be on that boat for 2-3 months to go to a foreign land and then get off the boat and fight people? You gotta be high. You gotta be high. Yvonne ain't gonna do that. Yvonne ain't gonna do that. You gotta be high. They got that. That's why I think that in that ash thing ain't no ashes. Ashes from cannabis. It was ashes from opium or something. Because I don't think that's the coffee talking. I think that's common sense. I think it's because the only thing that get people going to do it today is poverty, right? Because they look at that deep state. They look at the inside them real prisons. They don't want to go. They know what happened when you drop the soap and sleep on your stomach. Hell no, that'll get people out of bed to go fight in the military too. That's why I'm on the military side. I'm always on the military side. I'm not on the boss's side because the military ain't the boss. They're the ones who just trying to get biscuits and put them on the table. Anyway, good morning, everybody. All kind of people here this morning. All kind of new people. Everybody greet the new people. Dude, PCP is a modern invention. Is it? I didn't know PCP was a modern invention. Hey, G, I would love to see you high as a kite. What's your logical brain come up with? No, that's never gonna happen. See, that's not gonna happen. You know what now? Okay, well, maybe it happened. It might happen. I've never done drugs in my life. I just like cheering people who do. Because that's what I'm supposed to do. They're my neighbors. If they want to get high, that's their bad. That's their business. If they want to go take this and put that there, if a man want to wear a dress, if somebody wants to buy a gun, a tank, a drone, a bomb, that's their right. I ain't got no right anywhere past my skin. I have no right, so I enjoy standing up for other people. I stand up for the poor white kids and the poor Asian kids and the poor immigrant kids and the poor black kids. But we supposed to stand up for each other. We don't stand up for each other, we all gonna die because we burning up the earth as a bonfire, and eventually it's not gonna be like the hippies and the Boy Scout troop throwing furniture in there. It's gonna be, they gonna throw us in there. They gonna throw us and burn us up. Everything is a drug. It is a drug, Courtney, or the word drug doesn't exist. They invented the word just to keep slavery going, put people in prisons. Ron Paul did a great talk the other day. Did y'all see that talk with Ron Paul and Corbett? He went on Corbett. Oh, that was a fantastic talk. Everybody need to watch it. And people, was it Emilio? He said, well, yeah, isn't Ron Paul racist? And I was like, that's what they had said. But that's when I left the DNC, when I realized that they lie about anything. They lie. He was the only one fighting mass incarceration since I've been born, since I can remember. He been fighting, trying to get all them brown people out of prison while you had a black caucus fighting to put them in, getting paid to put them in. Getting paid good too from the cotton companies and the shoe companies and the lock companies. It's a scam. If the cap fits, people, if the cap fits, let them wear it. Do not take that cap off of them. You cannot trust people because they look like you. That's the dumbest thing you could ever do. All right. Good morning, Dolores and Lori. Christ in the house. Christ, did y'all get people high? Christ Henderson, not Yeshua. Good morning, Eckham. Good morning, Trish. Let me see. Facebook jail is the only jail. Right. Good morning, Brother Michael in the house. That's another one like to spend time in Facebook jail. But he's learned, Mike, you learned, ain't you? You kind of got to mix your posts up. You got to make stuff happy. Otherwise, the algorithm will get on. You got to put some funny stuff out there, ask people questions, put some kittens and something, some bunnies or something, and then you're good to go. But if you just talk about it all the time, you talk about free to people all the time, Facebook will block you and delete your page. So will Google and all the rest of them. So it's not about Facebook, not about Mark Zuckerberg. It's about the world we consent to that's busted. And we need to fix it. Need to fix it. Ooh, was a good talk. It was, Daniel. It was a good talk. Ron Paul ain't here to play. And we can talk the details. A lot of people don't like Ron Paul. I was talking to Anthony this morning. Real talk, real talk. He said, well, the Federal Reserve is just the beginning. I agree with that. Ron does not take it past that. But Ron Paul is a gateway drug to explaining people what the hell is wrong with the world. Okay, he may not take it back to the Pope. He may not take it back to the church. He may not take it back to the Vatican. He may not take it back to the Rothchilds. But he is a gateway drug to explaining gaslit, lost people who actually runs this world. And he was for me. It was Ron Paul who showed me. He was like, in the Fed. I'm like, what the hell is this crazy man talking about? He young round old dude on stage, y'all, in the Fed. What the hell is the Fed? The Federal Reserve? What you mean, the Federal Reserve? Why you want to end them? That's a federal department. They print the money for me. They're the ones that they're the ones that help me with my bank account. Everything federal, FDIC insured, because they're in control of the money supply. And then you realize that they're not even American. The people who actually own the stock don't even live in America. Then you wake up. So he's a gateway drug. Sometimes you just got to be a gateway drug. Thank you, Patricia. Patricia just put the link right there. And of course, because Corbett ain't on Facebook, that's what I think he might be on Google. He ain't much, because you have to go to your own website. If you want to talk truthful things, you will not talk about the global elite on their platforms. Corbett does not want to go to jail. That man makes professional videos. When he got something to say, he ain't got time to be banned. Ooh, Gerard is just drug biased. How am I drug biased, Christ? I ain't drug biased. I'm okay with the druggies. I got all kind of druggie friends. I think they should smoke every drug they can get their hands on. I personally don't do it. I got smoothies. I just don't think drugs exist. I just eat everything I'm supposed to eat. Body does what it's supposed to do. If I drink too much, bad things happen. If I probably do too many other things. I think everything in moderation. Let's say it this way. Everything in moderation. All right. Did he just neigh like a horse? I do all kind of noises, Courtney. That's just how it goes, Morning, Joshua. Looks nice to you either way. All right, Christine. I know, right? Who the hell wants to Mad Max around in the dirt anyway after all that crap goes down? Other than fashion, of course. Well, I do, Patricia. I don't know. I'm not anti-apocalypse. I'm pro-apocalypse. I think I'm pro-apocalypse. I'm pro-apocalypse. I was saying that last night too. I'm pro-apocalypse. I'm not pro get in the ship and go kill other people around funky people and animals and all of that stuff in a boat for a month. But no, I'm pro-apocalypse. I'm pro-apocalypse because the apocalypse is rolling out all over this world. We're just shielded from it. Like, we live in Elysium, and we're going to be probably the last to feel the apocalypse. I figure if children around the world can live under bombs, then I should be able to live around some zombies. And I'm okay with that. Bring on the apocalypse. Bring on the currency collapse. Bring it on. You know what? Because I believe in Americans. I do. I believe in my country folk. I think that when the crap hits the fan, they're going to get a lot of poo-poo on their face. And when they get poo-poo on their face, it's going to mess the makeup up. When they get poo-poo on their face, they're not going to be happy, and they're going to wonder who pooed in the fan. And they're going to realize that they don't have a government. They're going to realize in 1871, the Act of 1871 made their government a for-profit corporation. And then we might get our act together. But it takes pain. It takes pain. It takes pain for people to wake up. I wish we could wake up on consciousness and just reading and research and stuff like that. But that's not where we are. That's not mentally, psychologically where the Americans are. So I think a little pain will bring it on. When our stomachs get to rumbling, zombies get to walking, cuckoo virus get to coughing, I think that America's going to get their act together. But until then, they're going to fight on this side and that side, and the poor people going to just keep fighting each other because life is too good here. Long as they can go to their Walmart, long as they can go get a a unicorn latte, you can keep Americans stupid. When they go to that register and they ask for that, they still selling a unicorn latte. They still got that. Y'all still buying that? When the Americans go there to get their carcinogen drink, get that cancer in their gut so they can complain about it later. When they go place that order, yeah, I'd like a unicorn latte with soy milk and extra 2 shots and this, that, and the other, bloop, 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 all them fruit drinks there. And they're like, sir, we don't have the unicorn latte anymore. Well, y'all got that mermaid latte. Yup, sir, we ain't got the mermaid latte anymore. The nations who we steal all that from, they're not doing too good. They're not shipping nothing no more. When this global empire starts collapsing, then Americans gonna wake up. Well, you mean I can't get my rhinoceros latte? That's all you gotta do. You gotta give them a little pain. You make them feel it. Irish coffee. Well, Irish coffee got that liquor in there, don't it? And that come from my ancestors from Ireland. They like to drink that with that. Was that rum? Something they put in there? All right. Oh, no, I got to talk about something. We do got to talk about Assange. We got to go to Assange, people. We got to, I saw me something this morning. I actually saw me something this morning. We got to go to Assange. Assange is a hero. I know it said a few weeks ago he wasn't, but heroic. I don't know if he works for the CIA. I don't really care. He's done more than I've done in a lifetime. He's done more with one little website than anybody who's claiming any sort of truth, anything is done. So it doesn't really matter what he is. He could be Homeland Security, he could be MI6, he could be CI7, whatever. They are using him as a global initiative to scare every damn journalist away from saying anything true. Assange is a damn hero, okay? I did see something this morning. Who was this? This was the singer. Gave a great talk about him on RT. People, if your news station is not talking about Julian Assange, you need to stop watching that crap. Right? We got to step it up. We don't need to go out and make a WikiLeaks. We don't need to go out and do the Sharpie signs and march, because a lot of people got to work. They got to pay the taxes. They got to serve the engine to eat. But the bare minimum you could do is do not, if that newspaper, if that media don't have journalists talking for Assange, whether they agree or not, just bringing up the topic at least. Bringing up the topic. Do not support that paper. Don't post no links, don't like nothing, don't go to their website. We need to shut down papers that are obviously colluding with the billionaires that are burning the earth. We need to, and that's the only way you can tell who they are. Because right now they're standing out like a sore thumb. They're not talking about Julian Assange. That's what we need to talk about. That man cannot go to the United States. He cannot go to prison. That's why I appreciate RT. I watch RT, and you know I critique him because I don't trust nobody. I don't trust nothing. But I damn sure don't trust no newspaper that doesn't have journalists talking about Julian Assange, because none of those people are journalists. All right, they're all lying. They're doing exactly what they need to for a biscuit. And while I don't judge them for doing it, you got to do what you got to do for a biscuit. I'm not going to support you. I can't support you. I got a world that I need to live on. I got to live some kids here. And if truthful things aren't happening on this planet, because everybody denied me. I asked the other day on Facebook, nobody wanted to go along with it. I said we need to do an episode of Naked and Afraid at Sentinel Island, and nobody agreed. I ain't got no kind of friends here. I think we need to send your Congress, we need to send your senators, we need to get the 2020s together and do an episode of Naked and Afraid on Sentinel Island and just see how it works out. Get the helicopter over there, get all it. I save up my money best that I can. We'll do a GoFundMe. We're gonna send y'all on vacation. We're gonna send y'all on vacation to Sentinel Island. Sentinel Island is nice, people. It's beautiful. It's right off the coast of India, right off the coast. Pretty. Good tropical warm waters, tropical country, nice amenities, nice sandy beaches. We can just put them all right on the beach. Y'all naked and afraid, y'all going out there and just get some food, go on in the jungle and see what happened to you. That's what I think. Anyway, I'm not interested in people that kill children. I'm not interested in people that drop buildings on them. You might not like that, and I get that, but that's not how I'm supposed to. That's not what was in that book. I wasn't at the church when they put the cannabis in the ash incense burner. Okay? I wasn't there that day. I missed that day. I missed the day when all y'all saw God and you heard the music and you saw the colors through the stained glass window. I was not there that day. I believe those scriptures that I'm not supposed to kill, murder, steal, consent, all of that stuff. So anyway, I gotta take a look at this. I gotta take a look at it because this is Pink Floyd. Pink Floyd was talking truthful things. There are a few entertainers I follow. There are a few. Not everybody from Hollywood is lost. There are a few. As soon as I can find the right window, I got to show you this interview because if they're not talking about Assange, they're wasting your time. All right, let me move this forward so the people who still believe the Catholic Church is speaking for God and not an alien in the house. There we go. Bring him forward. Find my big head. There we go. Let's get down with it.
Labour leadership candidate Richard Bergen there, and joining me now is someone who refuses to be silent over Julian Assange, Pink Floyd co-founder Roger Waters. Roger, thanks for coming in the studio at last this time. Finally, exactly. You've been campaigning for Julian Assange eloquently there, talked about there by Richard Bergen. You know that the British Guardian newspaper, maybe Channel 4 News, if you watch that, you could be forgiven for thinking you and Richard Bergen and others are basically campaigning for a Russian agent who's committed sex crimes.
I mean, everything that he said there now is true. How they're even having this extradition trial for Julian Assange is weird because it goes completely contrary, as we know, to UK law, to our law, the law of this country, the law that's supposed to represent.
Well, we have an extradition treaty with the United States.
There's a treaty, but it specifically precludes anything that could be claimed to be a political crime or a political misdemeanor, which obviously this is, because Julian Assange's only crime is to speak the truth to the people. Crime. And he's speaking truth, though, to a powerful elite who do not want the truth spoken to the people.
Let me stop there. We're gonna watch the rest of it, but that's the key that you need to focus on. Julian Assange's only crime is he told what was true. He didn't even tell what was true. All he did is create a mechanism for the employees of criminals from around the world, the deepest, darkest, demonic forces that have ever seen the place of this planet. All he did was show people what they're up to. The people who support him. The demon supporters. The demon voters. The demonic, what are the demons' minions called? Did the Catholic Church have a name for the demons' minions? What are the minions called? The demons' elves. The ones who were supporting. His only crime was he told you what was true. And that should show you how evil your 2020s are, how evil your government, your prime ministers and your presidents, because all he did was show you the truth. And if telling you what's true is a crime, you are on the wrong team. People who don't want you to know the truth about what they're up to because they want your vote, your support, your contributions. These are people who don't mean you, let alone your kids, any damn thing good. That was his only crime. That's
the Prosecution Service obviously believes that the Espionage Act, that hacking, these are crimes that you can extradite.
Do you think they do? I think that's... Well, the powers that be in Washington, D.C. have decided that they want Julian killed, or at least in prison for the rest of his health is extremely poor. And they want him locked up forever, as an example. It's frightening to know that any minute there could be that standard issue kicking in the door and you're oiked off and, stuck into Belmarsh, and where you will stay until they've had their way with you, which is to silence you and any who might follow you, which is, I mean, apart from the fact that Julian Assange is clearly a great journalist. He went to places that other journalists were not going, and he developed methods to help we, the people, to find out the truth of what was going on in our names in other parts of the world. Like, as Richard Bergen was saying, the collateral murder in Baghdad.
Well, why do you think, then, that Amnesty International has chosen to declare Assange is no prisoner of conscience.
I did not know that. What on earth does that mean? I mean, I'm asking you because you know you have a way with words, and you can probably explain to me then what the hell is a prisoner of conscience? They've come up, Amnesty have in the last few years come up with some very strange views on very strange things that are not necessarily based on anything that you and I might consider to be the fact of the matter.
Hang on, I gotta say something. Christ spoke up. Christ. Christ. All right, Christ. Let me say this. So, do they already have prepared? Because this goes along this narrative that Assange was CIA. Right? He's CIA. They're up to something. He's controlled opposition, and it doesn't matter if you're a critical thinker, right? Because do they prepare the problem, action, solution? Problem, reaction, solution? They absolutely do. So you only take the first two steps. Problem, they created the problem. You react. Yes, it's a bad idea to hide the fact that you bombing and murdering children. Solution, we don't want your solution. That's all. That's all you do. Truth is never bad from any source that it ever is revealed from. You get the problem, you get to react because you're conscious, you're a human being, and they're murdering children and lying about it, stealing oil and minerals for the energy scam that's been rolled out over this planet that we're burning up. And then you determine what the solution is. So if people think about it from a critical thought perspective, what is the solution? What is the solution? What is their solution? Free Assange might be a solution. I think that's the right thing to do. I don't think that's a solution. I don't know what their solution is. I can tell you what mine is. Truth, honesty, no secrecy, right? So if we know that they've been lying us into every single war and they've been killing civilians and blowing up buildings with innocent people, then they don't get to have their wars anymore. They don't get to have any secrecy. So as long as you have the solution, it doesn't really matter what they're planning. They could mean it for all the evil, because that's the scripture. Satan meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. It doesn't matter what the CIA meant it for. It doesn't matter if he's controlled opposition. It doesn't matter what anybody meant it for, as long as we're critically thinking enough to know, well, how did we get in this mess? We get in this mess because, one, we believed in the energy paradigm of the planet, and everybody needs oil, and every war is always about oil. Every war is fought over oil. You can't even fight a war unless you got oil, because that's what tanks need and drones need. Next it'll be lithium, maybe mercury. But so you can't have your war because no, you can't have oil. So we get off of oil. And the other solution is you did it because you lied to us. You had secrecy. No more secrecy. I think no more secret. I think every war should be open source. Everybody needs to know everything about every angle, every this, that, and the other, every op, cameras, and honesty. If you actually know what's happening behind the scenes, if the politicians have the body cameras, not the police, then that's the answer. Because that's what WikiLeaks was about at the principal level, right? Doesn't matter if you know what, the CIA could have actually paid for the site. It doesn't matter. They could have actually typed it in and did the data entry, and it doesn't matter. The reality it showed us is that when people know what's true, then they can actually make good decisions. If people don't know what's true, then they're controlled by the media. So that's my point with it.
Entrenched to these elite forces then. Sir Keir Starmer is one of the leading candidates to replace Jeremy Corbyn as leader of the opposition here. He oversaw, as the head of the prosecution service here, the alleged persecution of Julian Assange. Is it all through our society? Are there places?
But politicians are tricky animals because they've always got one eye on the meter. They're always looking to see where they stand, how much power they have, how popular they are or they aren't. What a horrific arena to have to perform in. And a lot of them,
sometimes it's difficult for musicians too, if a young...
Hang on, I'm address that for a minute. Because politicians are like animals. They're sneaky. They know how to lie. They always put on that cute, cuddly face like a little kitten. They always act like we're on your side. You know the cap fits, you know the killers and the colonized and murdered. We all came from families where nobody trusted no politicians. We all came from that family. Every single one of us came from that culture. I don't know how they created a day when we cheer them like they're our saviors. They're not. They can't have any secrecy. You can't trust a politician further than you can throw them. They only speak the truth off record. Their job isn't speaking the truth. They are not doing a service for the people. They are doing a job for corporations, because that's what corporate employees do, especially the ones that work for the United States Corporation. It is a business. It is a for-profit business.
Aspiring musician, I don't know, Taylor Swift or someone started talking like you, presumably recording companies would get quite alarmed at alienating audiences.
Well, that is true in my industry. Yeah, absolutely. There's not a great deal of straight talking coming out. I'm 76 years old. I've been doing this for 55 years or something. You know, I'm not quite, but so and also I have survived to date. And it was B'nai B'rith in Canada wrote a letter to the major MLB saying that it was appalling that they were selling tickets for my shows. What they always claim is that I'm avowed. They said I'm an avowed, long-standing avowed anti-Semite who spreads hatred. That's according to them. And they do it because I support BDS, because I support human rights.
Boycott, divestment and sanctions.
Boycott, divestment and
Israel, which the EU does not support explicitly. Do you think there's something different about this? Obviously, Jeremy Corbyn was heavily attacked for supporting Palestine, and Bernie Sanders, whose relatives died in the Holocaust. Some have been accusing Bernie Sanders of anti-Semitism.
They're trying to hang
over his support for Palestine.
Bernie Sanders with the same cord that they hung Corbyn with by smear tactics. This picture of Julian is so. This poster that they're using now with the flag. This is how we feel a lot of the time.
Well, the DNC obviously has been alleged to be attacking Bernie Sanders over the primary season.
Just as they did in 2016, where they prevented him from becoming the next president of the United States.
But then could you see why people are thinking he's a Russian agent? Because they stem from WikiLeaks.
Again, we go around to that. You know, Russiagate has been the biggest waste of time, literally wasting everybody's time for the last... Where did it come from? I mean, it's so ludicrous. There were about 10 identifiable bots during the 2016. Hang on a minute, what? Foreign countries interfering in American elections? What about the $100 million that Adelson has just given to Donald Trump to get him re-elected?
There's a lot of money arguably also going to certain interests in Latin America, trying to overturn the old pink tide, if people remember that.
Of course.
Let's clarify something. I got to clarify something. So, it snuck the Bernie part in there. What Bernie says is true. A lot of it. What Bernie does ain't going to be what he says. Unfortunately, he doesn't actually control. So I think what Pink Floyd is talking about, he's talking about the Bernie message. Right? The Bernie message, the people who actually believe the message, who refuse to follow Bernie now because they actually believe the message. And so then you got the other people who believe the message and they believe Bernie can still do the message. So it's the message that no more wars, feed the people, house the people, that stuff you call socialism. And the message is true. And it's not too different from the Trump message, because his message was take care of home, which is feed the people, take care of the infrastructure, fix the bridges. It's a very similar message. So I think there's a difference between the man, Bernie Sanders, and the corporation, United States government, if it'll allow the message. So I think what he's talking about is the message is what was being censored, not necessarily Bernie. No American president is going to stand up to Israel. Bernie had dual citizenship as of a couple years ago, and I think even from Brother Sean, he was a big time Bernie supporter, said that he no longer has dual citizenship. And I'm okay with that. However, I'm not interested in people who pick sides with Israel and Palestine. I'm not interested. That's my position. I mean, I don't know what your position is. My interest is you disarm everybody. That's my interest. My interest is if you believe in that guns cause crimes, and you're sending guns to only one side, and you're sending tanks to one side, and you're sending money to one side, and you're saying you're an equal peace broker, you're a criminal and a liar. You are an accomplice to murder. So no, when it comes, like I said, I've always had that stance. You know, people fight because you give one side more power than the other. If you give the Palestinians swords and you give the Israel government swords, nobody's going to fight. That's the end of it. The only reason that aggression occurs is because you're backing up one side. Everybody can have houses and swimming pools and food, and you can't blame people for where they're born. That's always my stance. You can't blame somebody in Israel because they're born in Israel. You can't blame somebody in Palestine because they're born in Palestine. All you can do is say, you know what, I'm here to break up the fight. You know, are you a fight breaker-upper, or you want to keep cheering the fight, right? Cheering to get the land back, unfortunately, you're cheering a fight. Cheering to take the land, you're cheering a fight. Cheering to say, everybody stay where the hell are y'all at, everybody stop, and make sure everybody okay, everybody got power, everybody got food, water. Nope, y'all don't have to go to work. We got robots and automation, and we have the resources so you don't have to. Let everybody calm things down first, because that's what you do when your friend get in a fight. You grab your friend, the other person grabs the other person, everybody, you calm down. That's the first thing we have to do, is calm things down. Stop picking sides. So I'm not on either side of that conflict. So yeah, but Bernie was, you know, and it's not even Bernie. Let's say it the right way. If you are a U.S. politician, you will back Israel. Bottom line. Bottom line, doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter if you have dual citizenship or not. Dual citizenship, you will back them. You will do it. You can talk against it all you want, but you're going to do it. Why? Because the Federal Reserve is owned by central bankers in bed with Rothchilds, and they are very, very fond of Israel and this narrative that they started with smoking cannabis in the church.
We know that's how the game works.
Juan Guaido was hosted by Prime Minister Boris Johnson in Downing Street. He met with Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab. What do you make of these pictures of him being feted here in London?
Well, it makes me want to throw up, because Guaido is a right-wing thug who was used by the United States government as the figurehead in their attempt to overthrow the duly elected democratic government of the sovereign country of Venezuela, in contravention of every international law and the UN Charter and everything else. Because, why? Because they want to make money.
This isn't a hidden secret war like El Salvador in the 80s. This is the European Union and Britain both recognizing Guaido.
Well, it just shows how
president.
insidious, then, the attack by neoliberal economics and by the warmongering of the powerful elites, how insidiously it has wormed its way into places of power. It's a bit like in Germany, the Bundestag coming out and declaring BDS, I can't even remember now what they said, but they...
Anti-Semitic,
they said,
basically.
Yeah. Well,
as all leadership Labour candidates arguably agree.
You know, I mean, every time there's an election when I was a kid, our front room was a committee room for the local Labour Party. Well, yeah, the local Labour Party from 55 on, and before that for the Communist Party. So my mum would be turning in her grave.
A lot of people have also been saying, why do left-wing candidates like Corbyn, like Sanders, talk about Palestine? Why do they talk about Venezuela? These are irrelevant to neoliberal destruction of manufacturing jobs. Why are they relevant? Because you always campaign on these particular issues that every day people concerned about their own lives might not think relevant to them.
Listen, trust me, two of my great heroes in life are Ken Loach and John Pilger, who sadly can't be here, he's in Australia. I got a note from him this morning. But I've seen John Pilger's 2-hour-long documentary, and it's called The Dirty War on the NHS, and it's about the dismantling of the National Health Service in this country. So if you really want to get me started, I could weep sitting here today knowing that the National Health Service, which was the jewel in the crown of the possibility that we might be moving towards a more equitable world after the Second World War, to see it being sold down the river by the Boris Johnsons and Tony Blairs and Margaret Thatchers of this world just breaks my heart. It's a disaster for it to be.
Disaster for you. not the global elite. It's a project. And this is why I think that the British government and these European governments, they all are all told what to do just with the American government. Because they all do the same thing. They don't do a damn thing for their people. They do just enough for their people to keep people believing and voting. They give them just enough hopey changey. But that's it. At the end of the day, when the bankers make the call, they make the run. That's just how this particular world works. So I think Jonathan put something interesting. He said, well, why is everything in the open now? They're not even bothering to hide stuff anymore. Jonathan, I think is just, they don't have to anymore. Like, why would they hide it? They're not scared anymore. They got enough people believing in the system. They have enough people voting and cheering for their own enslavement. They have enough people fighting over capital and milking the planet for their own happiness that they don't have to. And that's it. And that actually is a very good point. Like, what is it about today where they're not even scared anymore? They're not even scared of the people. And that should make everybody concerned. Especially now you got people in DARPA who are saying, hey, we need to stop. The people who make the technology that's going to be deployed to murder your children, like, you know what? We've kind of gone too far. We've got too much of this. All right. Hey, teacher, leave the kids alone. The kids on the assembly line are going into the grinder. That's what they are doing, Megs. That's what an education system is nowadays. It's an indoctrination engine. It's not education, it's pure indoctrination. They're trying to take these kids and make them happy with slavery, try to make them happy with what their government can loot from around the world. And it's all based in this energy paradigm that completely needs to go away. Oh, I gotta show you something else. Speaking of energy, good point, which was World War II was about oil. Who gave that talk this morning? Oh, I gotta show you something else. Show you that one ahead. Here it go. Gotta show you something else. That World War II was about oil. Every war is about oil. It's about logistics. You gotta supply what's needed. But we are trapped in this paradigm, which actually makes no sense. You know, I think the point was, if Nikola Tesla were still alive today, we'd have flying electric ships. We'd have the Jetsons and Space Lease rockets. But anybody who actually stands up to this global scam of energy is always put under the bus.
For the movie theaters with Superman. And those cartoons are public domain today. And the very first one of those cartoons is Superman battling this mad scientist. Yeah. And he's clearly Tesla. He's got this magneto death ray. He looks like Tesla. They don't call him Tesla in the cartoon, but they've turned him into evil nemesis, and Superman has to stop him. And so they really created the mad scientist at this time, and other.
They did create the mad scientist at that time, but I saw him this morning on my way in to slavery. I saw all the Amazon trucks leaving to let Americans know. So I always drive. I drive past the Amazon plant every morning. I was running a little late this morning. I saw all the fleets of trucks bringing all of the Americans all their goodies that were stolen from around the world, so we can take a Jeff Bezos and put him on top of the world as the next Lex Luthor fighting Superman.
Movies.
I mean, you have to give him credit. It's very clever. The mass manipulation of consciousness is not that hard to do if it starts with something as simple as that. Something as childlike and seemingly innocent as a comic book or a movie.
Yes, right. And Tesla appeared in other of these Superman cartoons also as the mad scientist, Superman sort of battled him over and over again. Tesla died during World War II. He died in 1943. And then the FBI went into his offices and they took all of his papers that were there. Other people had maybe ransacked it.
That named Frank, earlier. Someone, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
There's now been stories that Tesla was actually murdered.
Yes.
And that's an interesting story too, that Otto Skorzeny and Reinhard Gehlen supposedly had come to New York during the war and gone to Tesla and murdered him. This is a story that comes out now.
Now, why would Reinhard Gehlen have been involved in such a thing? I politically, I don't understand that. I know the Germans were really on their own race technologically.
Yes, right.
And so did they feel he was somehow a threat to their technology?
Well, and they wanted his technology. And that's a really good point you're making. A lot of people don't realize this, but World War II, in many ways, was an oil war.
Pause. He's explaining Julian Assange's crime, right? He told the whole world that these wars were a lie. He provided the mechanism. Let's say it that way, because people go back and forth on, was he a hero or did something heroic? He did something heroic if we utilize it the right way. He could be a hero in time if we act upon it the right way. He showed you that every industrialized nation has to lie up a war to go rob oil fields. That's what he showed. He showed you what your demons are up to and what you're complicit with.
Axis powers, Germany and Italy and Japan, did not have oil fields. They still don't today. What they did during World War II is each of those powers went out and occupied oil fields. The Germans occupied oil fields in Eastern Europe and Ukraine.
Right.
The Japanese occupied oil fields in Manchuria, and the Italians occupied oil fields in North Africa.
And that was all redistributed after the war, right?
Well, in a sense,
Between
and
Britain, the U.S., and Europe.
right, and
Okay,
and other
interesting.
countries
Yeah.
were allowed to be independent.
Right,
Manchuria
right.
is part of China.
Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
So what was going on as part of World War II was that these Axis powers lacked oil, like as the Allies did. And in fact, at the Battle of the Bulge, that ended because the Germans ran out of gas and the tanks just stopped working.
That's it. It was always about oil, and you need oil to keep fighting. It's like your industrialized nations, right? You know, you win every war with logistics. If you can break down, you know, the feed of the oil into the system, you'll break the system down. Same thing here. I had a friend who used to say it another way. He said, you know, everybody has cars now, every nation, and they all want to drive, right? And they're all gonna drive. You're not, you know, people will cheer war, they will cheer the Crusades, they will cheer bombing and murdering kids and dropping buildings all over this world, burning up the planet till we all die, because everybody wants to drive these cars. This is why you can't have any secrecy. This is my point about Julian Assange and WikiLeaks and going with the solution. And Christ is right on that you don't want to go with their solution. You go with the solution that the world is too big, too small, and the power is too big, that you got Lex Luthors that are running the planet. One that created this oil scheme, Standard Oil, the Rockefellers, right? And so they are these global elite that create these systems that almost require every nation be in conflict with each other to buy their product. And now we're at a point where it's tempting a World War III. That's the danger of this scenario, of having governments that have secrets. You can't have any secrets anymore. And that's the precedence that WikiLeaks set, is you cannot have any more secrets, because we are literally locked in a global struggle that's going to end in a few nations being on top, but everything getting destroyed. And then we all die.
It was the end of the Battle of the Bulge. They ran out of gas. But the Germans, not having large oil supplies, had to find alternative energy sources. And it was the Germans who also created the Sasol plants, which was turning coal into oil. They did that during World War II, and the South Africans also then took that technology, because South Africa does not have oil fields. So they used the Sasol plants of Germany. Brazil is another major country that doesn't have large oil fields. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you have these industrial countries, Japan would be one, and Germany, but they don't really have oil fields. So it was during World War II, particularly, that the Germans were looking for other types of energy. And so the craft that are electric, and that was what Tesla was all working on. Mm-hmm. So part of the idea of World War II in the end was you have the oil companies trying to control the world, and they are pushing for oil-based technology. Mm-hmm. Rockets, jets, their spacecraft is oil and
obviously limited.
That's right.
As a result.
But now, let's say, for an instance, that Tesla had survived World War II and had somehow become part of the post-World War II space program. What kind of spaceships would he have been creating? Not rockets. He would have been creating electric spacecraft.
In walks the patent for the TR-3B. That's why I always go back to everybody and say, look at that damn UFO. Look at the damn because the whole world is going to be destroyed if we don't grow up. World War III, I have somebody talking about, what was that? I think Christ or somebody mentioned World War III. World War III, people, once again, people think it's going to be fought on Instagram. It's not. They think they're going to get war updates on Facebook. It's not. As soon as World War III starts, all the power is going to go out. I'll post his interview. It was a great interview. That's the brother from Ancient Aliens. What is his name? David Childress. That's not what he's from, but that's what he's on. We're all attempting the end of the world, playing Lex Luthor, all on this point that we designed a world that created these GDP industrialized societies on technologies that all require oil. And people will not let their country run out of oil. They're not going to let the machine run out of food. And so this is where the end of the world is basically written on our consent. In World War III, yeah, it won't be fought. It won't be fought on television because you ain't gonna have no power. You ain't gonna watch it. You're not gonna be charging your phone and texting back and forth with your friends and which one of your war criminals at the top, the patriots that are saving you and what they're doing. You're gonna be fighting in the streets for fuel. You're gonna be fighting for salt. It's gonna be like the TV show Jericho. Feed the people, give the people, it's weed. Absolutely. Grow Head 3.0 match, feed the people. Why should we feed the people? Well, because we can now. We can, and this was in the scriptures. You're supposed to feed people before you hit them in the head with who you think your God is. You know, but we don't do that because they got high. They put the cannabis. They put the opium or something in the ash and they burned it up in the church and started this crusade, would end up giving the power in the world to a few families, and those few families set us up with central banking and oil. That's how the world works. Feed the people because they're hungry. We can feed the world. We've got the robots and the automation and the software and the ability to do it. Probably China will start it. Christine, will China start World War III? I don't know. It's a good question. I mean, you know, I think that we if they started it, it's a side effect of what we're doing. I think that we pushed the world into this arms race, and I don't think China will start it. Actually, I think the CIA will probably start it. That's probably who will start it, and China will probably react to it. You know, we can do some amazing things, but we've not chosen to. Review history, it's all there. Yes, Chris, it's all there, but people don't like to review history. And when you colonize people, they like to burn that history up. If people who have no idea their history have no idea their future, and that's why they're burning stuff up. That's why it's a pyramid in Bosnia ain't nobody telling you about. I found out about it. I guess I was on the fence whether or not the biggest pyramid in the world was in Bosnia. It sounds like it is. They did some was it vibration sensing or whatever they did. They realized there are chambers within that structure. There's a pyramid in Bosnia. But of course, they don't want to tell you about it when they open it. They don't want you paying attention. They need to go in there and get all the mercury vortex levitation craft or tools from ancient antiquity that allowed them to melt rocks and whatever else they could do back then. Because whoever develops that technology, they're the ones who are going to end up ruling the world. So that's why they always hide everything they find in these tombs. But that's where we are. I don't need no arms around me. I don't need no drugs to calm me. I have seen the writing on the wall. Don't think I need anything at all. That's a beautiful thing, Megs. I think that sounds like, did you write that? Did you steal that from, you plagiarized that from some lyrics. Happiness comes from within. Long-lasting happiness comes from within. That's what these religions and scriptures and consciousness try to tell people. Happiness comes from within. You can't steal happiness from somebody else. Ooh, I got something to show you.
Caterpillar
I just saw
is
this.
set to help the world's largest gold mine go autonomous. Imagine gold being mined without people actually having to do any of the heavy lifting or heavy labor.
Shocker.
With more on this story, here now is RT correspondent Saya Tavenger.
Hang on. Remember I tell you that I never say I told you so? Remember how I say that? I'm not going to say I told you so. I'm just going to say that every job you do, robots can do it better. These robots are going to be utilized to more efficiently rob minerals and resources from people all over the world as they put you out of work and they don't share the minerals and resources with you. Or we're going to say we're done with this world. We're going to utilize all the automation and robots to feed the people, mine what's needed, and use robotic factories to create new robots that grow food, build houses, make cars, so everybody can have everything they need and want. Because when people have that, they become nice people. When you deny them oil into their industrial GDP engine, they will blow up your country with a Bible in hand. This should be obvious by now how this world works. And so here's a robotic mind. Check it out. This is what I try to tell people. We have the technology and it's very old. It's not new. We've been working on this since the 80s.
Which is in Australia, is the world's largest gold miner and has just announced that their Boddington operation will become the first autonomous haulage system in an open pit gold mine in the world. Now, to give you an idea just how large they are, Boddington produced almost 800,000 ounces of gold and about 77 million pounds of copper, and that's just in 2018. And the company has announced that the move would be enhancing safety and productivity, and is also expected to extend the mine's life by at least 2 years. So that means that those 2 years could mean billions or more dollars for the company and their investors. In fact, Boddington's president and CEO Tom Palmer said in a statement, "Our investment in autonomous haul trucks will generate an internal rate of return greater than 35% with a more controlled and efficient haulage operation." And the total net investment in Boddington's driverless Caterpillar fleet will be around $150 million. And because the company directly employs about 2,000 people, there have been some fear of jobs lost, but Newmont announced that they're planning to already execute a plan aimed at providing opportunities for reskilling and redeployment of haul truck drivers to other roles within the company. And Rick, with this move, the gold giant joins the world's two biggest miners, BHP and Rio Tinto, as well as other companies in the push to automate the mining industry. And so far, Newmont Corporation has fourth quarter earnings that were much higher than the prior year and beat expectations, boosted, of course, by glittering gold prices that are at an all-time high. So I assume that this is just going to be more good news for the company. In Washington, Cy Tavenger.
Good news for the company, bad news for you. You don't run your world. So let me clarify, because people, I say the same thing. When I say robots can do your job better, I'm not talking about the you. I'm talking about the you that's a lie. I'm talking about the you that's dominated by global profits, right? The you that they give you, not just something. The greatest thing that human beings can do is love. Love. Nobody can do that better. Robots can't do, but everything you do at work, robots do better. Absolutely. All right. Hang on. There's something else here. Something else. Every journalist in danger. Okay, this is what I want to talk about right here. This is
the mission at Tasty Cake is to make happy happen every day.
Always look around you and see which side that you're on. That's going to determine whether or not you should stay there. Look who's on your side.
Lawmakers are making their case to extradite WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange. The founder of WikiLeaks is wanted on 18 charges, including charges related to the Espionage Act. Now, Assange's case has major implications for journalism as well as whistleblowers. But according to the U.S. government, there are implications for national security after thousands of classified documents were published revealing the U.S. activities in Afghanistan and in Iraq. So to get the latest, we bring in RT's Afshin Ratanzi, host of Going Underground. Thanks for joining us, Afshin. You've had a busy weekend in this issue with Julian Assange. Lots of rallies going on around the world. There's a global protest going on as we speak in support of not extraditing Julian Assange. What is the mood like right now in the streets around the courthouse? And is it having an impact on what's going on inside?
Well, it has to be said that corporate mainstream media have tried to silence what's going on in a South London courtroom that may have implications for every human being on Earth. That's not hyperbole. That is a fact, because it means if Julian Assange can be extradited to a Northern Virginian court, the so-called espionage court, it means anyone can. You don't have to be a U.S. citizen to be extradited there. The mood Well, there have been some comments about the actual legal process, the overseeing magistrate, whether there were connections to the security services. And as for the demonstrators out in force around the court in South London today, the magistrate, Vanessa Barresta, made a comment in court quite early on saying, can they quieten down? So the demonstrators are out. And the BBC, state-mandated BBC, not showing too much attention. I have to say, in fairness, RT, Comcast's CNN and Sky News and other channels, they are starting to cover it. Perhaps they realize that every journalist could soon be put in jail.
Well, and that's what I want to approach first, this idea of press freedom. And why isn't more of the press, including the BBC, sticking up for Julian Assange? You know, especially here in the United States, where journalists are going to great lengths not to say the name of the whistleblower involved in the infamous Ukraine phone call, and the whole idea of protecting that whistleblower. Why aren't they trying to protect a known true whistleblower named Julian Assange?
Because they're wrapped up in this idea of whether or not he was a hero or heroic or villain or whatever, and they're ignoring the principle. I don't know. That's what I think. I think people always get lost in it. It's like the UFO. Is it aliens or Space Force? It doesn't actually really matter. They got free energy. Why the hell did you at work today? Why are you voting for a government that's trying to keep you working, hiding energy from you? Same thing with the whole Julian Assange thing. Look at the principle. Are people allowed to know what's true? If you think that you're grown enough, you think that your panties fit well enough and your drawers, they fit well enough that you're allowed to know the truth so you can make good decisions, then you should be supporting what WikiLeaks did. Bottom line. That's why I don't get into it. I stay out of it. I'm not interested in the fight. I'm not interested in the fuggle. I just sit back and say it doesn't really matter if he was CIA or any of that. All that matters is if we're allowed to know what's true. And right now you got one side who's saying you're allowed to know what's true, and the other side saying you're not allowed to know what's true. And there's only two sides. That's it.
Well, of course, I mean, some would say he's not a whistleblower, but he certainly allowed whistleblowers to flourish with his WikiLeaks organization. And I got to say, WikiLeaks isn't gone. Just in the past few weeks, they released all sorts of papers.
And that sounds great, but I agree with the other side on that one. I don't think that you get big and stay big. I think it's a principle that we need to stand on. I personally don't really trust the WikiLeaks anymore. That's just me. I live in a weird world. I just think that if you get big and monsters and Lex Luthor still own everything, I think that's what, because there are truth to the fact that when they say that they don't really talk much about 9/11, they kind of play some games when it comes to that. I agree with that, but you don't get to be big and keep your voice. When you get big, they will take over your voice. The point is we need to fight from a principle. Thank you, Victoria. Free speech, that's it. There's no such thing as hate speech. There's no such thing as being a traitor when you say what's true. You say what's true, and people can deal with that from that perspective. You know, the answer to hate speech is more speech. That's how you fix problems. Everything else, you're just hiding things under the closet, hiding things under the rug.
That made allegations about the OPCW and chemical weapons in Syria. WikiLeaks does go on, but as to why journalists don't want to cover this story, it's getting more and more bizarre. Amnesty International belatedly, even while making their only formal declaration that someone wasn't a prisoner of conscience, a particular amnesty phrase, they came out and supported Julian Assange today, including the Committee to Protect Journalists and NGOs all around the world, and it has to be said, the United Nations. It's funny how when the United Nations says things like some country has WMD or there's a vote on it, countries go to war. But when the UN says that what's happening in Britain today is amounts to more or less a show trial, or at least certainly a intervention by British authorities, which involves arbitrary detention and torture, and which would lead to a show trial in your country, no one seems to be taking the UN at face value.
And I'll be honest with you, Ashton, here in the United States, there isn't many media that are covering this, why we made sure it was a part of our show. But here at home, in the U.S. last week, there were rumors of this pardon deal. And that did get a little bit of traction given by the Trump administration in exchange for Assange saying it was not the Russians who gave him the DNC emails. Now, I'm going to say these are rumors because there has been zero proof produced since then of this pardon deal being offered, or what was even said by Assange's attorney in the courtroom, if it was even accurately reported. Not hearing much about it today, surprisingly. Do you think this info was put out there to hurt or help Assange's case, especially considering it kind of just went to the wind?
from my understanding, it initially was designed to hurt the case, although I understand that the defense, which has tried many different ways of defending Julian Assange, did use it. I mean, all we've heard is what? That Donald Trump's former chief of staff, John Kelly, was aware of perhaps this kind of plea deal. Assange was on the record very uniquely for him, actually, to comment on a source given to WikiLeaks. He said it wasn't the Russians. That was the only thing that he did say. But in the context of a $4.2 billion aid package to Ecuador to install an alleged U.S. proxy government there so that he could be kicked out of the Ecuadorian embassy in London, compared to that, the United States is dealings with WikiLeaks. We've got to remember the current Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, when he was head of the CIA, calling WikiLeaks a hostile intelligence service. I'm sure no one at WikiLeaks trusts anyone in the Trump administration.
Well, and that's the thing, and nobody with probably within WikiLeaks right now trusts anybody with any government, considering all the information they continue to be fed. You know what, thank you for following us. Real quick, how does this end with him?
I'm sorry, I think Lori just answered that one. I had to laugh a little bit. Oh, he gonna die. He gonna die. We all gonna die, but he gonna die first. Unfortunately, because we can't seem to grow the hell up and stand up on some principles. We built this world. We all consented to it, and then the first one out the gate is the first one they gonna crucify. He gonna die. If they gonna pretend to kill Epstein in prison, to hide him from the people who were fighting pedophilia, and Assange has no chance. Whether he was CIA or not, their sacrifice is their own. But I think Conan hit something on the point right there. Hold on. You're exactly right. As soon as something has substance, yep, that's it. They will work as fast as possible to usurp their power and work to invalidate them from the inside out. Conan, we've seen that time and time and time and time and time and time again, until we actually understand that that's how this world works. As soon as something gets blind following, what do? They switch out the incense and ash burners, and they put cannabis in there. That's exactly what they do, because they need to control you from the inside. If you blindly follow something, they're gonna take over whatever that organization that is, whatever it is. That's how power works. It's what power wants. But I want to get his perspective on if Assange is gonna die.
Well, it's very difficult to say at the moment. I mean, people don't want him to go to a court in Virginia. I was just talking to Jeffrey Sterling. He was tried there. He said no one gets a fair trial in the espionage court in Virginia. Let's hope.
And that's fake news too. Nobody gets justice in America, period. It doesn't really matter about Virginia. The minute that airplane crossed over the border, because we pulled out of the ICC for a reason. We didn't pull out of the ICC, the International Criminal Court, because we're good people. Okay? We didn't pull out of the ICC. We pulled out of the ICC because we got oil and lithium and minerals and things that we need to rob from people. The minute you make it inside of these borders, you can hang up on all that freedom and democracy and liberty and justice. We don't stand for none of that. We stand for keeping the system going, and the system is based in having slaves here, it's based in blowing up countries over there, and stealing what they got. So it's not Virginia, it's any court in the United States, period. We don't have justice. We are a corporation. The Supreme Court is a corporation, people.
Assange's supporters are saying, let's hope that this precedent, which could mean the end of journalism worldwide, is not broken and a person is not extradited. After, it has to be said, CIA surveillance of him talking to his lawyers. That's the allegation in Spain. Let's hope Assange's supporters are saying he is never extradited to the United States.
Lots of details in this case, and we know that you're going to continue to follow it on your show. Thank you so much for joining us. Make sure that you catch Action every day
from
here
another
on
perspective.
RT.
So think about it from a what if he were freed perspective. What if he were freed and vindicated and WikiLeaks went back to producing whatever they're producing? You'd have 100 more WikiLeaks pop up. Right? You'd have whistleblowers from all over the world. And this is what I'm saying, like, don't go with their solution, go with what's right. And if the root cause of all of this was the fact that we're trapped on oil, which requires wars, and governments can lie till they're blue in the face and they got secrecy and classifications, then that's what we take from them. And that's the beautiful thing, is it could go either way. I don't I want to be positive today, but I'm trying hard to say go the right way, but I don't know that I can say that in all confidence. But if it does go the right way, then you will empower journalists to speak up. Because then at that point, there'll be a rush of journalists to be the next Julian Assange, right? There'll be a rush of journalists to find lies. There'll be a rush of whistleblowers from the UFOs to the aliens to free energy to the chemical companies and the pharmaceutical industry telling the things that are truthful, because they'll know people now have an appetite for what's true. So it can go either way. So that's what I'm saying. Don't get bogged down in the side discussion. Get bogged down in the principle. Are people allowed to know what's true? That's all that matters. We can make it amazing if we actually turned it into that. All right, you tell them, sister. Human moms unite. Man, I ain't never said yet. Well, hang on, say. Hang on. I ain't never said nothing about robots parent better than women. Did I ever say that? Did I ever come out? Did anybody? I say everything live on video. Did I ever say that robots can parent better than you? Did I ever say that? Okay. No, I didn't say that. Stop it. No, that's what human beings do. Human beings love. Robots can't do that yet. Not yet. Not that kind of love. Robots got, Chris Lewis talking about the other love. Robots got that love down pat. You can't touch them. Don't even think about it. Loving your child, you got that. You know, you got that. Mama, you got that. Loving your husband and your boyfriend, now you gonna that's another. People get headaches, y'all. Okay, they get headaches, they get busy, they get aggression, they got stress at work. There's all kind of other information in that biological conversation. Damn it, did you take the trash out? All right, Chris Lewis ain't lying about that. All right, we're not going down that avenue. We have robots. Hey, listen, robots got that one. I know women. I know. Nobody can do my man like that. Okay, all right. Guys, same thing. Oh, I got this covered. I can. Okay. Okay. You know, there's a lot of things that you need to think about when it comes to physiology and physics and robots that can grow things and move fast and move this way, that way, follow all kind of instructions, don't get tired. There's all kind of things you need to think about. So absolutely. Nobody raises children better than mama. I agree with that. And daddy. Robots will never, not yet. Not, well, all right. Let me think about from a child perspective. Let me see. Could a robot raise me better than my mama? I don't know. Can a robot get to McDonald's? Could the robot give me a Happy Meal? The robot gonna spank me? I don't know. The robot gonna do my homework for me? I don't know. The kids might disagree with that one too. I mean, I agree with you. I agree with Megs and Christ. I don't think that the robots can raise children better from mama perspective. I agree with that. From the humanitarian, human perspective. But the robot can do a hell of a lot of spoiling. The robot, again, ain't gonna have no headaches. The robot not gonna be tired, just got home from slavery. The robot ain't gonna get it wrong and spank the wrong child for breaking the vase. No, the robot gonna get it right. So I don't know. I think that's a great discussion. I think there could be some great debates around that, but you know, I'm not gonna go further down that road. It's just everything you do for Rothchilds, Rockefellers, Carnegies, Mellons, everything you do at work, robots and software totally can do that better. Just a matter of time. That was why I tried to tell people robots aren't the next step. They were a paradigm shift. Learning software was the paradigm shift. When we were sitting in IT and we realized that we had the ability to create learning software, we said, not for your job. For our jobs, we realized, it means that we can create software that creates software, which means we're gonna be out of work. We ain't care nothing about y'all. We was writing software and automation, get rid of all of y'all monkeys. We didn't really care. But when learning software got developed, it means it can literally learn. You can create an actuator arm that it can do all kind of things. It never gets tired, can lift more than you can lift, can move faster than you can move. And all you needed was the last component that you can teach it. Once you learn how to teach it, now you can create the Terminator. Now it can fight wars. It can learn how to walk. It can learn how to talk. It can learn to lie on social media. It can learn how to do everything a baby wants to be done. It can learn to do things your husband don't do. With extra arms that they can do it in ways that, all right. Oh, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. We need to be worried about this world. We need to be a little worried about it. That's all I'm saying. All right, let me see. I was talking. Oh, you know what? I can't even see all the YouTube comments. Hang on. Hang on, I can't even see. I don't think the YouTube, because YouTube, didn't we push y'all down? We push y'all, we kind of like the Rothchilds and Rockefeller. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we put you, because you're not all showing up. We push y'all down. I'm gonna have to shrink. Hang on. And that's another thing. All right, I'm sorry, I don't go there. I just say robots don't shrink. The robot doesn't care about the cold water. The robot ain't worried because the window open and get some shrinkage. The robot, no, George Costanza, you need All right, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I mentioned I was shrinking. We did that last time. Let me move y'all up. I'm gonna move you. Okay, there you go. There you go. Oh, we all gonna die. We all gonna die. Oh Lord. Anyway, he's now trying to comment. Look out! I am trying to comment. Read comments now. Books raised me. I had a psych military dad. Tony, that doesn't surprise me. That does the depth of knowledge you have, that does not surprise me. And I appreciate Brother Tony, and thank you. Brother Tony was the one who educated me on the difference between the modern Jews and the Nazi Jews, the Zionists, and the real Jews. And I'm not going to convince you I completely understand it, but I do know that the Jewish people are loving people. We love the Jewish people. They believe in the Torah. We love the Torah. Not when, like, the Catholic Church get y'all to do stupid stuff like the Catholic Church. But they're good people. It's the Zionists, right? We need to be very strategic with the problems. And usually the psychopathic people like to hide in larger groups of people so they can get you fighting them. Focus on Zionism. Those are the people. Those are the political armored group of people lying about who they are that are bombing children and killing people. All right, appreciate Brother Tony. So that doesn't surprise me that you read a lot of books as a child. TV actually raised me. I saw a normal mom and family look like watching the Brady Bunch. Right, well, that's what I'm saying, Patricia. She kind of agreeing with, she disagreeing with Christ and Megs, but I'm not going to get in that debate. I just think that right now, laptops and these little devices, didn't they make the little baby carrots? It's got the little thing that you can put the smartphone thing right there. Didn't they just make that? And so the baby can watch everything from the internet, not you. No, what I'm trying to find, was it a baby carriage or was it the car? Well, first of all, in the cars, they got that smartphone thing that goes on the back of the seat. So we know that. There was something that drove me crazy. It was a baby carrier that holds the smartphones. There's a company that was making that. Baby carriers that holds a smart pad. It holds the pad holder. I don't know, because it may not matter who raises children better, because right now the children seem to like the smart pad better, the iPhone. Oh Lord, do you see this? See, this is what I'm talking about. This is the problem. Oh, that's such a problem. Oh, the kids ain't got no hope. The kids, oh Lord, a baby carries that holds beer bottles. Ah, boy, we're gonna lose this debate. No, there was a baby carriage that holds cell devices, laptops or something. Because the babies watch it. Like, I agree, mama ain't nobody raised a baby better than mama. I get that. But right now, mama need breaks. And mama put on the Teletubby so mama could do a few other things. All right, let me stop. I'm going to get in trouble. Same. I love men's, hands where they're large and, okay. Amongst many other things. I love men, period. And that's great, Megs, but you know, robots can have bigger hands. You know that? I don't know, robots are like that grip. Like, what y'all like about men's hands? They can be big and they can grip you. You know, a robot can do that, and a robot can learn like where to touch you, where not to touch you, how much pressure, how much not. We in trouble. That's all I'm saying. We are in trouble. Okay? We're in trouble. So I'm not even gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there. Just think about a device that can be any size, shape, color, temperature, texture, speed, vibration. It's just anything that you want. Touch anywhere you want, any size, anything. And a corporation making that, and you teaching it exactly. All right, that's Kama Sutra. That's Kama Sutra times 10. And then won't get sad and aggressive, and right afterwards go make you a sandwich. Right afterwards, go make your favorite thing. Go get up, turn the TV on, bring whatever you want. Go to the store, get some diapers. Right after, not even take a break, not even no break, just as simple. All right, I'm gonna stop. I'm just saying, slave. This is basically a slave. That's what it'll be. It'll slave, and they'll get better and better with skin. They'll get better and better with the muscles and actuators. They get better and better and better and better and better. All right, that's all I'm saying. We in trouble. We are in trouble. We are in trouble. Houston, danger, Will Robinson. That's all I'm saying. All right, let me get down. I gotta get out of here. We had a debate if a robot can do better. Robot does everything better, y'all. Because literally, man, we got limitations. Man and woman, both of us, all together. We got limitations and we got to go to work. Really, what is it? 40% of the women or 60% of the women in my nation, we on Xanax for a reason. We got our women on Xanax because they hate this world, all right? When you hate things, you got some problems, some thoughts. The robots ain't got nothing to think about. The robot just needs some grease and some more programming. That's all it needs. All right. Is there anything important in the news? Anything else? That's it. Oh, they're mining the gold now. Now the colonizer doesn't even need you. They don't even need you to get on a boat and go dig up anything. They got the robots to do it for them. It's going to be every job. They're going to go job after job after job after job. They're going to get rid of all the monkeys, and the monkeys going to have no bananas, and the world's going to fall into an apocalypse. Oh, Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan weeps for Kobe Bryant. Okay, that's still in the news. Once again, Kobe didn't have to die. We got levitation devices and UFOs on the news. Anybody flying in helicopters are fools. Damn, got Edward Scissorhand blades flying around over kids and cool schools and children. Think about the ignorance of a helicopter in the time where you got mercury and vortex centrifuges and these flying anti-gravitic aircraft. That's why the whistleblowers tell you everything they can, because they're trying to tell you don't literally need to have a Freddy device that's flying around with scissors everywhere. And that's a damn shame. You lost somebody and you have to lose. That's what believing in the fake world does for people. Why Trump and Nigel Farage slammed Boris Johnson? Okay, all right. I don't know why. I'm not sure they even care why. Who fears the pandemic tank market by 1,000 points? Oh, the cuckoo virus. Anybody fearing that? Anybody scared of the cuckoo virus? Anybody scared? Is that something that we need to look at? Should I be scared? I'm not actually scared. You know what? I believe in bankers. I think they like to make money. They don't make money when economies are shut down. I think if an apocalypse comes, it's going to be in and out. They need you to go to work. They need the slave because they don't have the robots just yet to do the accounting and everything else that you do. Flip the burgers, make the pancakes, stuff like that. I think if the cuckoo virus, it'll just come through depopulation real quickly within a week and get you back to work. We got to get that cotton bag back in your hand and keep you picking. I don't believe in any sort of world apocalypse. I think these bankers and central government, first of all, to have a worldwide epidemic, it would shut down the banks. It would shut down. Nobody's buying cars. Nobody's buying coconut lattes. Nobody's buying the mermaid lattes. Nobody's buying new slave technology at the local Walmart. You shut down markets. Do you think that the world's trillionaires are going to go for a shutdown of global markets for 3 or 4 months while people die and cough up life with the cuckoo virus? I don't believe that. I think they release these things and reduce the population. And most people are killing themselves. Who is that? Christ who posted that earlier? Silent weapons for quiet wars. You don't actually have to kill you. You're killing yourself. You eating Twinkies. I bet somebody right now got a bagel in their mouth, chewing that thing down. Just right now, full of gluten, full of sugar. Somebody eat some cake right now. Somebody got some candy. Somebody making their kids lunch and put some chocolate, carcinogen, sugar in there right now. We killing ourselves. Right now, somebody got them non-organic strawberries, knowing they're in the dirty dozen, full of pesticide, carcinogen, putting it right in their kids' lunch. They don't really need to kill us. We pay to kill ourselves. And we'll pay some more. That's the world we have. So yeah, quiet weapons for silent wars, but they're really silent. They don't really have to do anything. We're fighting each other. We trying to rob and steal from each other. We still doing politics. They don't really have to do too much. Cannabinoids commercial, naturally found in breast milk, persona-specific food equals perfect. Cannabinoids commercial. It was found in breast milk? Naturally found in breast milk. Well, wait a minute now, Victoria. I got some questions on that. I do got some questions. I got a few of them, and I'm not gonna ask most of them. I ain't gonna ask them because it would go the wrong way. Is Daniel still here? Persona-specific foods. Is this a person that? Well, we manufacture cannabinoids. They're not cannabinoids. We have an endocannabinoid system. We make some of them. But is it? Does the woman got to eat some cannabis first? Like, is this women? Because if you, oh Lord, oh there you go, Daniel. He's still here. He heard he wasn't even at the laptop, Victoria. He was on the other side of the room stealing breast milk out the fridge from the baby. He was. He said, "What? Cannabinoids, breast milk? What? Whoop, ah." He came right just to make the comment. I know, don't you lie, Dan. You wasn't even on this side of the room. That's interesting. And it makes a lot of sense. I mean, women are creators of life. That breast milk is very, very healthy and nutritious because grown men fight their babies over it. We ain't got no damn kind of a chance. Poor Daniel, baby. Anyway, that's interesting. But yeah, people definitely want to breastfeed your babies as much as possible. And if there's anything left over, you look out for your man. Otherwise, he's gonna steal the bottles out the refrigerator. Unless the mom is an abuse. Oh, ow, ooh, Lori, ooch, ouch. Yes, and this is true. This is real talk. Real talk. And that actually is a good point, Lori. So she said, unless the mom is an abusive female dog. Ooh, I mean, think about like child protection and foster care and how that's going the wrong way. According to the state, robots raise the children better. Robots ain't gonna raise Nikola Teslas. Robots ain't gonna raise kids that stand up to the system, question things, and say, we need free cannabis. Like, they're not gonna raise that. Robots will definitely indoctrinate the babies. And ooh, that could be the future of foster care. Stop giving them to other mamas in other homes, but just put them in a home with robot nannies, like the nanny from the Jetsons. That's a good point. That's another one, Lori. The state, you don't raise your kids right. You raise your kids fighting the state and not wanting to go to FEMA camps. So a state might disagree on that one. Let me see. I would prefer the robot, lots of laughter, preferably Rosie from the Jetsons. Oh yeah, Rosie from the Jetsons. Patricia, that's what I was just talking about. Yeah, I would like a robot nanny. Oh, and if she, you know what? I don't really go down that road, Patricia. I'm just gonna say, if Rosie wasn't like metal and Rosie was a little big, Rosie had to do some exercise because Rosie, she had that gut, if y'all remember Rosie, and she got that thing on the front. If Rosie looked like, y'all see that show called Being Human? Do y'all remember Cherry 2000? Y'all remember Cherry 2000? Y'all, how old are y'all? If Rosie looks like Cherry 2000, we gonna Houston, we gonna be down. I think it was called Cherry 2000? Y'all remember Cherry 2000? Was it Cherry 2000? This might be the Cherry Blossom Parade 2000. No, this Cherry 2000 right there. That's right, robot right here. Here she go. Y'all remember this shit? You're in trouble because if the robots can like clean and mop and pick up kitty litter and feed the dog, walk the cat the other way around, and then look that way and also jump up and down, never get tired, all kind of crazy stuff, and never have headaches, yeah, you're gonna have a problem. If they got maids that look like that in Patricia in the future, yep, the whole social thing is going to be an issue. It's going to be an issue. You'll never have true intimacy with a robot. Christ, depends on how you define it. Depends on how I'm a technology person down the road. You can, if you can program intimacy into a human being, you can program it into a robot. Do we have that robot in software right now? I don't think so. I would hope not. But this is why learning software was so dangerous, because you can teach anything. It can learn anything. It literally can listen to the sounds that you're making. And it can determine what's good to do and not good to do. Men, sometimes we don't listen. Sometimes we think about work. Sometimes the baseball game, football, something comes to mind. And we miss the cue. We miss the cue. The robot ain't never gonna miss the cue. It's gonna be a data point. That's all I'm saying. All right, okay, y'all believe me. Y'all, hey, listen, remember the horse? The horse was like, ain't nobody ever gonna take this cart from me. We got the cart. Nobody's ever gonna pull this cart better than we can pull it. Now the horse is almost extinct. They're just out on farms. Is all the horse. They're not everybody driving cars. And the cars will never go faster than us. The cars went faster. You know? The cars don't poop all over the road. The horses thought nobody would ever take their job. I'm just saying, learning software is an issue, people. It's an issue. Focus on it. All right, my husband already has Inspector Gadget arms. Oh, okay, I have everything I need. All right, there you go, Meg. You stick to that, girl. You got this. You got this. Is your husband here? I know he'll say it right. He'll agree with you. He agree with you too. I love being with young people. Lori, I'm not sure that this is fitting correctly in the conversation, but I know what you're saying. This is another whole conversation. Kids are the best people to be with. Absolutely. Absolutely. But your grown man, your husband gonna get old, gonna have gray hairs in places that you didn't know gray hairs could grow. You got hair in places that's not supposed to be hair. Oh my gosh. You know what? I'm not even gonna say nothing. I am gonna say something. The robots don't grow hairs. Sometimes I'm like, what the hell is hair? Why would hair even be there? There's no purpose for hair to be there. Growing old is an interesting thing, and I'm only 29. So, yeah. All right, so there you go. No more on that. We're done with that whole topic. We're done with that whole... And then it's going to have the nerve to be gray, too. Going to be gray. Well, if you're going to start growing somewhere, can you be the color the hair's supposed to be? Why you got to start gray? All right. So, humans can... It's an interesting voyage. 98% monkey is an interesting voyage. That's all I'm gonna say. Let me see. Where are we? We are being replaced. We're absolutely being replaced, Rebecca Costello. We're being replaced. People admit that, that we're not replaceable, and we are being replaced every time we say we ain't replaceable. It was a robot, a machine, a car, a bus, a train, some piece of software, an API, always replaced it. We're always making more and more complex systems. That's one of the dangers. And I'm not against it. I just think that we need to go with caution. We need to baby step into this. And if we do everything for profit, we let the corporations determine what they make, they're going to do everything they can to make a love device to get your husband to spend as much of your money and your savings as possible. And you might agree with it at a certain point in time, because you might just get tired. Like, oh Lord, I don't even want to do this no more. All right, you go ahead and get your purchase. I don't think money should determine what we make. We should literally be making food. I mean, robots that grow food. Like, think about the logic of this. Think about how sick we are for the mature people in the room. Everyone has to stop. Think about how sick we are. We could literally make robots to go get water for these little girls who got to go get water past rape gangs. But we're busy making robots so people can get their jollies. Think about that. Think about how sick that is for a minute. Anyway, you can't let corporations determine everything. You can't let capitalism and capital and struggle and profit determine every damn thing. We actually got important things to do. And you probably need to work on getting along better with your husband and your wife. All right. Priorities. We got our priorities all backwards. It's one thing like to joke about it because it's funny because we're just this weird species of whatever the hell we are. But it's another thing to actually invest millions of dollars to cause more divorces, to cause more problems, to break up more homes, as opposed to feeding people that are hungry, as opposed to getting water for people who shouldn't have to go, as opposed to all the things you can do, all the positive things we could be doing. All right, cannabinoids occurs naturally in breast milk. Thank you, Victoria. Goddess milk. Yes, it is, and I agree with that. And it makes perfectly good sense. Makes man's fetishes make a lot of sense. All right. Oh wow, this is a whole lot of breast milk talk. Let me move down. I gotta get out of this zone. No, my robot nanny does not need to be hot. G. Okay, Patricia, growing up. All right. Okay. It's Melanie Griffith. Lots of laughter. When they taught monkeys to use money, within 3 days, the males were fighting each other over trying to make their money, and the females were prostituting themselves. Yeah, that is another thing, Christ. If the source of child trafficking, human trafficking, trafficking of women, sex trafficking, all of that, if the source of all of that is capital, maybe we're not evolved enough for capital. Like, if those things exist because of that, if artificial scarcity is behind all the abuse everywhere on this planet, according to a lot of the neuroscientists and behavioral scientists, well, maybe, just maybe, we need to go another way. That is deep right there, G. Sharon, is deep and it's scary. It's deep and it's scary because we're not turning the boat around. We need to turn this bus around and take these kids back to school, and it doesn't seem that we're doing that fast enough, which is kind of scary. Like I said, it's funny to joke about it to a degree, but when you really start to think about it, you realize that we are a mentally ill society. We have real trouble with priorities because we let people drive who shouldn't be driving. I mean, instead of the bus driver, the old lady want to get the bus to school, we didn't give it to the psychopathic lady that smoked too many drugs and was drinking. All right, you get them kids to school. It's like, nah, that's not what I'm gonna do. I'm a Rothschild and Rockefeller. I need to make as much money as possible. I ain't getting these kids to school. I'm gonna crash this bus. All right, no more than Cindy. Let me see. If robots do the other work, humans have time to love. Thank you. Love and laughter. We don't need them for sexuality. See, Christine, thank you for being the grown up in the room. Thank you. Thank you. Sometimes somebody got to pull the children up. If robots are doing all of the drudgery, you spend more time with your kids. You spend more time with your husband. You spend more time with your wife. Like, we suck at Rothschild work. We suck at Rockefeller work. We are phenomenal at love. We are fantastic at the non-physical love. We're great at that. You know, when you free the human race, Christine, humans become beautiful things. But as long as you keep them working like slaves, real bad things, and all the bad things that have happened. This is why I say stuff like, everything we did in the dark ages, we still do. They're just legal now. Everything that we've done back then happens in war. Everything that we've done back there is now clapped for. Back then, people didn't clap for it. They thought pedophilia was a bad idea. They thought human trafficking and war were bad ideas. Now we clap for it. Sick thing. That's why I think they replaced the incense in them little incense burners in the church to get people, they replaced it with some sort of a drug from the land of Cana to get people to go to war. And in that analogy, this could be your income, could be your salary, could be your career, could be all the goodies you get on Christmas. It could be a diamond ring to get married, could be your McMansion, could be your BMW. But they get people to do things that we should not ever be able to do as human beings for giving us gifts and controlling our minds and how we think. All right, growing up with a mother with a serious mental illness, I thought that the rest of the world was sane until I got out there on my own. That's right, Sharon, you discovered we are a mentally ill prison plantation. That's exactly what we are. I find that my marriage is better since I don't work full-time anymore. Exactly. That's the point. That's the point. You know, everything will be better when people are free. Everything. Everything. You'll actually have everything that you want when people are free. When we utilize robots to do what they're best at, and push the humans back into the corner and let them do what they're best at. Oh, we got a news flash. Hang on, everybody. Hit the brakes, Miss Tree. We got a news flash. Theoretically, any human can breastfeed. Men just have never had the incentive. Okay, that's new. That is a news flash. That's new. That's new to me. That's news. That's I'm not sure how that works, but it's possible. Anything's possible, I guess. Maybe. Ain't nobody. Well, I'm not. You know what? I'm just not going to even address that one, Miss Tree. Thank you for that information. I have to look into that. I don't know anything about men breastfeeding. That's new. Do they have the map? Don't you need like some extra equipment to do that though? Don't you need like? Look at Daniel. See that? y'all can't see what I see. Y'all, the old faces with the old. That's Daniel. Y'all can't see it. That's Daniel. Next scene is Daniel trying to get his head around a nipple. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Daniel, oh Lord, I'm not picking on. I don't want to pick on Daniel. Daniel's the guy he ride. Oh Lord, have mercy. Daniel, please do not suck your. Don't do that. You might go blind. Daniel, did your wife watch this? I know your baby is happy though. Your baby like, yeah, Daddy, you get your own. Daniel, if you try to milk yourself, it's gonna be. You know what? Please put that on. Please put that on Facebook. I just never knew. I never knew men went for the breast milk and the baby bottles. I didn't know that happened. For me, it changes. Something changes when it goes in the bottle. It's not the same thing. It's something different about it. And it's not the same thing when it ain't mine. It's not the same thing when I'm not invited to the party and you put human breast milk in cookies and cakes and things that I buy in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. That it bothers me. We need to have a discussion about the breast milk. It needs to be consensual. That's the right thing. It needs to be consensual, and I like it from the source. That's how it works out. I don't want it in a cup. I don't want it in a plane. I don't want it on a train. I don't want all right, that's it. I gotta go. What time is it? I gotta get out of here. Diamond rings through pig noses. Ooh, what is that, Lori? Ooh. Oh, is that an association with blood diamonds and people wanting that? Okay, all right, I get that. And ooh, whoa, Lori, you swinging, huh? You swing. I thought you was gonna pull up with Christine or Rebecca in there. Can women grow the penis to see? That's a whole nother discussion. Can they? I don't know, and I'm not gonna answer that. I want to change the topic. Daniel trying to make his own coffee creamer. Coffee creamer. Daniel ain't even commenting right now, Sharon. You noticed that, right? You know he left. He done got the pump. He done got because Daniel's wife right now like, baby, what you gonna do with that pump? Daniel went to the room, to the bedroom. Daniel, where are you taking my pump? They're like, baby, I'll be right back. All right. See the trouble that you caused? Who that, Miss Tree? See what you see what you done. Now they gonna have the breast pump gonna have all kind of hairs and stuff. Oh Lord! Then Daniel's wife gonna get it back and like, Daniel, where did you put this? Cause you know that all right, they just look like hair from other places. So, you know you can go online and buy that, Daniel. You don't need to use. You know the baby used this, right? All right, factually true. Miss Tree, adoptive babies suckle adopting parents will sooner or later lactate. Really? Wow, I didn't know that. That's what the internet is good for. That's amazing. I didn't know men could have breast milk. That's just powerful. Do they have to do something? Like, don't they have to have a baby or have some hormones or something to manufacture it? Because most men, some men got breastises. They do. I've seen them. They got male bras now. But don't they need some sort of a something? Like, cause for women, it's not always on, right? You got to get turned on. I don't know. But you know what? But this fits with a theory I heard, which is that men and women don't actually exist. Everybody is like a spectrum of whatever the hell this is, and people can jump back and forth like the reptiles. That's crazy. That's not crazy. It's just we really don't know as much as we think we do. We always think we know something, but it was not in the encyclopedia. Encyclopedia Britannica said it's men and women, and we found out that that's not true. It's all kind of people in between. I actually needed a break last night, so I said no. Okay, Max, that's personal information. That's personal information. I don't think we need to know that. I think that, and I personally, you know what, and to be honest with you, is your husband here? I don't think you should say no. I don't think that you should. I don't think that that's responsible. I think when people get married, two become one. I think him fixing your car, taking out the trash, rubbing your back is in the agreement with other things. That's what I think. I think that when people get married, is whatever that they two join. I don't think that you're individual anymore. I think that you're together. And I think most divorces come about from y'all thinking that you're individuals. I think you're together, you can do things separate, but y'all supposed to have some things that you share that nobody else has any insight into, and I don't think y'all should deny each other. Unless it's consensual, unless you both agree. That's what I think. But then again, Megs, I'm by myself, so don't even listen to me. Yo, you need to do what works for you. Everybody need to do what works for them. The stimulation of a mammary gland will eventually produce milk. The stimulation, okay, how does that happen? What do you do to a man to stimulate that? Not that Daniel needs to know, but what do you do? I'm just curious. This is news for me. A wet nurse, a woman who feeds other people's babies. It was common practice among the rich. Oh, really? Okay, that makes sense, Susan. So it just happens, I guess. So men, how would Daniel get started? Does he need to read a book? What does he need to do? My babies had that too. Okay. Milk ducts, that's what they are called in human fleshy terms. One love. Okay, Daniel's already researching it, so maybe y'all need to tell him what to do. He's already on Google. He's already on Ecosia. How do I make my own breast milk? All right, I gotta go. Let me see. All the testing the state has done, they have answers. Yeah, I bet you they do, Jack. I bet you they got answers. They got killer robots. They probably got killer robots for men. They got killer robots for women. I think they're coming to get us, and they always are. All right, let's look at the last news so I can lift up. I gotta get off of that topic. Oh, that's new. Y'all done taught me. So that's why I like Facebook. You learn all kind of interesting facts that just don't have any purpose in your life. I don't want that. I don't know, because you know what? That's we see Daniel. Now, Daniel, y'all need to tell him, though. Women, please explain to him that if you get it started, sometimes you can't shut it off. You got to go to work, and if you, because they got the bras with the absorbs moisture. And if you got to go to work because you dripping, you at work, and they notice that, you got all kind of stains around here, they going to know what you've been up to. And then you're going to have to wear the bra with the pad that suck that stuff up. I'm just saying, you need to think about the future, son, before you jump into that task. But I do appreciate your attempts to let your baby have a breast milk. I do appreciate it. I think that babies come first. All right, Weinstein found guilty on two of 5 accounts. Well, okay, and I find that to be interesting. However, the U.S. government's guilty on 1 billion of 1 billion accounts. They always backing up the sex trafficking with war and destroying nations and destabilizing and causing all kind of problems. So Weinstein's in America and he's a baby criminal, but the government, the United States Incorporation is the biggest criminal. Biggest one worldwide. They're not even a part of the International Criminal Court. So I don't think big, massive criminals that have massive worldwide war criminal crimes should talk about little criminals. Debate moderator Chuck Todd was Amy Kloshkar's landlord. I don't even know who any of these people are. If they're important, you got to tell me, because I don't really pay attention to these people. How taking down Weinstein could damage due process. Lionel. Well, I don't really believe in your laws, to be honest with you, but I find it interesting to look at them sometimes. I don't think in a nation that, oh Lord, free the man nipple. No, don't free the man nipple, Miss Tree. I mean, unless, yeah, well, you know what? I don't like to tell people what to do. I just, Mystery, I think Americans have enough problem right now. I think that it's too much. I think that we already have enough challenges and problems dealing with the priorities and the things that we need to focus on. I think adding man milking, breastfeeding in public, I think that's just too much. I think at a certain point in time, we have enough options and problems that we need to sort out that we probably don't need to add any more to the fray. That's what I kind of think. So let's not can we hold on to the man nipples for a little while? Let's let the man nipple stay dry. Nipple stay dry and let's people stay dry. And let's deal with bigger issues for a moment. Debate. Ooh, it's a debate. Debate's interesting. MSN anti-Sanders frenzy. Oh yeah, that could be well, I don't know. That might get me in trouble because I just don't believe in any of your masters anymore. Massive crowd greets Trump at India's state visit. Oh yeah, what they greet him for? Did they greet him? Were they cheering? That could be interesting. Canuku virus alert in Italy. South Korea and the Middle East. Okay, it's spreading. It's spreading. I'm not really concerned with it, but it's spreading. Still, more people are dying from man breast milk feeding than from the cuckoo virus. More people die from bees than cuckoo virus. More lions kill people. More crocodiles kill people. More people fall off of their bicycles and die. More people die in car accidents than the cuckoo virus. That's why I call it the cuckoo virus. When it steps up its numbers and it's killing more people than the U.S. government, when it's killing more people than the pharmaceutical industry, when it's killing more people than soda companies, when it's killing more people than candy packagers, when it's killing more people than water bottle processing, when it's killing more people than any of the big killers, then it'll make the list. But until then, it's pretty low on my list. All right, Russia bailing in 2020 election amounts. The slurs, Ben Swan, freestyle motocross, LA bids emotional farewell to Kobe and Gigi. I think that's about it. Will an 8 billion pipeline be stopped by Appalachian Trail? No, it will not. That's just not how it works. Doesn't really matter. You think it's your country, it ain't your country. This country belongs to oil barons, robber barons, billionaires, psychopaths, and trillionaires, and we're just captives. Trump confirms $3 billion defense deal with India, because India got people to kill, I guess. I don't got to go to that. That's war. And this is why wars occur right here. You see this right here? Because people smiling, driving Cadillac. Right there, these cars. Because they smiling, they show you the pretty lake. See the pretty lake in the car? See the pretty lake in the fossil fuel machine? The pretty lake ain't going to be there in the future. It's going to be empty lake. The tree ain't going to be there in the future. It's all going to be burned up. Because we drive these things and we look at these advertisements and we think that they're good things to do.
Hey there, thank you so much for clicking on this video. You are about to watch the latest coverage, but before you do, Portable.tv,
thank you.
The world's largest cricket stadium in Ahmedabad. There, he and the First Lady were welcomed by more than 100,000 people, the crowds cheering them on and giving President Trump the biggest rally of his political career.
What?
During his trip, the president also announced that the U.S. and India would sign a defense deal for New Delhi that's worth about $3 billion. RT correspondent John Huddy is joining us live with the latest.
What? Did y'all know that? Did I miss an email? So Trump has the biggest crowd, more than the U.S. turnout.
Latest on the president's trip. So, John, what exactly is in this big deal?
Well, you took the words right out of my mouth. It's a $3 billion deal, as you just mentioned, worth of U.S., among other things, U.S. military helicopters. We're talking about Black Hawks, Apaches, and other U.S. military equipment, and was really one of the specific things mentioned in President Trump's speech today. The event was named, by the way, Namaste Trump, a take on the rally in Houston, Texas, you may recall last year, for India's Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, who was also at the event today, which was called Howdy Modi. Well, today's day-long affair in India featured really a lot of pageantry. There was singing, dancing, basically a huge celebration for President Trump, who was joined by First Lady Melania Trump, also his daughter Ivanka, and...
Hold on, wait. Question, hold on, wait. Does this have to do with Trump? Or does this have to do with, and y'all know me, I'm not anti-Trump, I'm not pro-Trump, I'm just out of it. Does this have to do with the fact that they're getting guns and bombs and drones and murder kill machines so they can fight Pakistan? Is that what this is about? Is this about the whole Kashmir thing and they're getting an upgrade in their murder people weapons? And they don't seem to understand, like some of the Americans, that any of the weapons your government gets will eventually be used against you. Is that? Did I understand? I don't think they'd be dancing and singing if they thought that those things were going to be turned around and used against them the same way they are in America.
Son-in-law Jared Kushner, among others, seated in the stadium. The president took a little...
See, I got an issue with this. See, I'd rather them show up for Trump. I'm okay with them cheering Trump. I'm okay with that. But cheering weapons of war, I don't get that. I don't understand. Nobody should cheer your government getting more murder machines. No, cheer for the people all you want. Cheer for the masters and stuff. But nobody should be cheering for weapons of death.
Ribbing for his not exactly accurate, shall we say, pronunciation of some of India's famous cricket players, but look, he did get big applause from the crowd for his shout-outs, not only to the cricket players, because of course he was in the largest cricket stadium in the world, but also to Bollywood and some famous Bollywood films. Basically, kind of personalizing the speech and playing to the Indian crowd. Yes, they're basically the stadium was full, but about halfway through.
Wait. Did you see that stage? What am I missing? Look at that. Look, the Americans didn't even do that. Man, y'all didn't do that for Trump. Y'all didn't do that. I saw y'all rallies, and y'all had some y'all had fake black people at first. I saw that. I saw that coming. They were in the back. They had some fake Mexicans, and they had it was a Photoshop. That ain't true today. They got them today, though. They got minorities that are backing up Trump today. I know a bunch of them. They got them today, and Hispanics, I know. But they didn't ever do it right. Look at that. Look at the size of the screen. That's crazy. Wow. Is he going to be the president of India next or something? What am I missing? Did I miss something? There's got to be a lot more to this.
Indian crowd. Yes, basically the stadium was full, but about halfway through the president's speech, people started kind of filtering out. It was very hot in India, so you can imagine after waiting for several hours, including thousands that waited in line.
Hey, was it because it was hot, or was it just what what's her name? He said he was doing Macho Man. He was singing Macho Man, Macho Man. Y'all remember the song? I wanna be a macho man. That's my only issue with Trump, is he's a little too macho. Yeah, I don't think he's president. I don't think presidents actually make decisions. But somebody said he was playing Macho Man. Sharon, you said, was he playing, what'd he say? Was he playing Macho Man and people left? That's a lot of people. Line
for hours. It went on pretty long. But that said, the president and Indian Prime Minister Modi did speak about U.S.-India ties, the relationship as economic and political allies, and threat of global terrorism. Trump made...
I get it. Okay, economics. That's what it is, right? Because India is a very poor country. I get that. And you still have people. I had staff in India. And you still have people that go long distances to get a job at a computer. If they stay in where they live, they're going to have to rip apart petroleum ships and there's no water because was it Nestle or Hershey? Who was the one who pumped all that water out of it? It was one of them soda bottling companies, pumped all that water out of India, and then now they got GMOs, they had to burn up all the fields, and so now America comes in to save India, even though the American companies were the ones that burned up India. So I get that. Because they want some of that Rothchild print the money stuff. They don't really understand that if they print the money, they own you. But that makes sense. I guess they're coming in the deals and the money. When people live in poverty, they're going to take the help from wherever it came, and they will show up. And that is real true. That is real true.
He mentioned of that threat in his speech, adding that his administration is working with Pakistan to crack down on the terrorist groups along Pakistan's border with India. Listen.
Our relationship with Pakistan is a very good one. Thanks to these efforts, we are beginning to see signs of big progress with Pakistan, and we are hopeful for reduced tensions, greater stability, and the future of harmony for all of the nations of South Asia.
Now, you think the crowds have bought Patricia? Patricia thinks do you think they bought the crowd? If it's 100,000 people, how much did they pay them? That's my question. I wouldn't wouldn't surprise me. Americans buy crowds all the time. Didn't they buy Hillary's crowd? Didn't they buy her crowd? Well, they had pictures. They showed nobody was going to her. No one was going to her rallies, so they started buying crowds. But that's actually, it's a good sign. It's a good sign if they're buying crowds in India too. If people aren't believing all of the nonsense. I just don't believe in leaders anymore, y'all. It's not a Trump thing. It's just, I don't think we need to do this anymore.
This was important to note because India and Pakistan nearly came to war last year, as you may recall, after India bombed what it said was a terrorist training facility in the mountains of Pakistan along the Indian border, resulting in an escalation in fighting between both countries. That came dangerously close.
Look at that stadium. I'm not even listening to what the guy's saying. That's a lot of people. That is a lot of people. That is ridiculous. Nobody, not the DNC, the GOP, you ain't never getting that many. How hot was it there that day? That's what I want to know. You're not gonna get that many Americans. Like, my friends are gaslit, and they can't wait to get a 2020 new slave master in office, but you will never get that many of them in some hot Indian stage when it's 95 degrees. I think there's got to be a lot more going on to this.
Close to all-out war, as we reported.
Hey, wait, there's something else. Hold on, wait, look at this. Wait, go back, wait. I'm starting conspiracy theory. Why does everybody have white hats? Look at that. And it's just me. Y'all see this crowd? Everybody has white hats. Was it a giveaway? Did they give free hats? Does that white hat mean something? Why would everybody have white hats? What is that about? There's a color theme. There's something more going on here. We need to start a conspiracy theory as to why 100,000 people showed up at a Trump rally and everybody had white hats. There's something going on there. That hat, maybe does it have cannabis on the inside of it? Did they line the inside? You know, the sweaty part right there. Did they line something in there? Opium, does that go through? What is this about?
That came dangerously close to all-out war, as
Look at
we
this.
reported.
Right there. No, you see the hats?
Now, both sides were
I know I ain't crazy.
War was avoided. Still, it showed the danger of tensions and the risk of an escalation in violence between both nuclear powers. Now, President Trump, during his speech today in India, touted
Okay, all right, real talk. This is true. But notice the glass. He got Pope glass. He has New York City Chinese restaurant glass, the takeout glass. He got the glass. So yeah, there's a lot of love happening there, but there's an understanding too. He got the Pope glass.
Arms deal with India, saying he believes that the United States should be India's premier defense partner. President Trump and the First Lady also visited the ashram where Gandhi lived, and of course, the famous Taj Mahal in Agra. And despite his comments about working with Pakistan, which didn't exactly garner a whole lot of support in India, Trump is still very well liked in the country, where, in fact, a recent Pew Research Center poll found he has 56% approval rating. Now, the U.S. and India did not reach a trade agreement.
Hey, this is such a weird world to live in. So there's more people in India that approve of Trump than Trump supporters in America. The world makes no sense, but I don't try to make it make sense anymore. We are definitely Planet of the Apes. I guess weapons is that hot.
Before the president's visit. That will, however, be among the topics of discussion while the president is in the country for this really whirlwind 36-hour visit, with President Trump saying that he's, quote, optimistic that both he and Prime Minister Modi can ultimately reach a trade deal. By the way, Manila, Trump, who, as we all know, owned the Taj Mahal Hotel and Casino in Atlantic City before it shut down back in 2017, it's the Hard Rock now, had never actually visited the Indian site, the actual Taj Mahal, until today. So a little fact there. And by the way, apparently they got all the monkeys out of there for the President and First Lady's visit, all the food-begging monkeys that are all, apparently clogged that site.
See, now I have a problem. See, I was neutral. Y'all chased the monkeys out the Taj Mahal. I got an issue with that. Why would you chase the monkeys out? The monkeys was there first. You don't chase the monkeys out for some other monkeys. I didn't know there was a monkeys. Hey, I need a picture of the monkeys in the Taj Mahal. Monkeys, that's what we're talking about, right? The monkeys in the Taj Mahal. in the Taj Mahal. Why would y'all chase the monkeys out for a monkey in a suit? I don't understand that. I'm always on the nature side. I didn't know that okay, that is it. That's Taj Mahal. So the monkeys lit it, so they didn't chase do they chase the monkeys out the Taj Mahal for their president? Or they just did it for our president? The world doesn't make any sense when I think about this stuff. I don't see monkeys. Well, I guess there's a few monkeys in the Taj Mahal. Oh, it was a great show. Reminds me of this show called Monkey Wars. I think I was the only person in America who watched it, but it was a great show. There's something about monkeys. I'm fascinated with them. They're very interesting. They remind me of my fellow citizens. I don't see an infestation. It's like 1 or 2 monkeys. How come, why would they chase all of them? Maybe there might have to be a lot more monkeys then. It don't make no sense to me. If they're a national treasure, aren't the monkeys, isn't one of the monkey gods in India? Isn't it a couple monkey gods? And they chased the monkey gods out for Trump. We in big trouble, people. This didn't make any sense to me. What am I not getting? Y'all know that they're colonizers, right? You know that we the colonizers. You know that you ain't gonna make a deal with us unless we make you make a deal with the Rothchilds and Rockefellers and central banking. I hope y'all know that. So I don't know. I don't even know what's going on. All I know is who the cap fits, let them wear it. And they damn sure wearing that cap at that rally. Somebody needs to start a conspiracy theory. Tell me what's going on. So anyway, that's it. I'm wrapping up. I gotta get out of here. This was super long. I got to go. This is upside down version of the Manifest Destiny. Yep, it is. Did you know that Trump in slang is a slang word for fart? No. Much I'll wind and crap in their fans. I didn't know. Doesn't surprise me though. Yes, money for war, but millions of lives in slums there. They built a wall to hide them for Trump's visit. War is a racket, armed helicopters, but no food, water, and shelter. Disgusting. That makes sense to me, Betty. It makes sense to me that they would have a whole brouhaha thing. But certainly the India is a very poor country, and poor people will show out. That's why they starve Americans into living under the city, because they'll go for anything that the politicians promise them. It's how you control people. It's called artificial scarcity. You keep things from them and they'll do anything that you want them to do. They're always chasing the monkeys away. Oh, did they? Okay, I visited Taj Mahal. Okay, so they chasing the monkeys away for Christine. I'm mad at you too, Christine. They're always chasing them away. Okay. I thought they were, monkey god, Hanuman. Yes. Hanuman, the monkey god, not too far from Lemuria, the continent that we know was a real continent. So, all right. Last couple comments, I'm gonna get out of here. India has chosen the sad guru path of dissolving into the military-industrial complex instead of staying impartial. Very much the same way they never fought the British, just established trade without the war. Okay, the chosen route, the chosen sage guru path of dissolving into the military-industrial complex instead of staying impartial. Conan, I didn't know that was a sage guru thing. I thought that's my guru. I thought he was well, he ain't my guru. You don't know me, but I watch his videos. But he's pretty anti-war. You saying that he was kind of like the industrialized path, that he has some beliefs in industrialization? Everything I've heard from him is pretty anti-military industrial complex. G Group 2020. I don't know what that is, Jack. What is that? You got it, Gerard? Okay, I don't know what I got, Jane, but thank you so much. I'm gonna try not to give it to nobody else if it's contagious. Village people said they were happy for him to use their song. Guess they got some money. Lots of laughter. Yeah, it's usually about money. But I'm not, but you know what? But like I said, I don't want anybody to think I'm anti-Trump. I'm not anti-Trump. I actually appreciate the fact that he's not a politician. I do. I appreciate the fact that he seems to not always be on script and say things he's not supposed to say. I have no interest in politicians that are polished. I don't want a polished politician. I want somebody to say that Haiti is an asshole country. To me, that's important. It is a truthful statement that we can, it's like WikiLeaks. I need WikiLeaks presidents. But I also don't think he is as I gotta say a word, blue collarish, as people make him out, as he makes himself out to be. I don't believe that. I think that he actually used to be on a TV show and he's highly intelligent. He just plays it down. Are you still doing 45, Miss Tree? 45 needs to breastfeed. I don't think he needs to, Miss Tree. I think he breastfeeds as much as he wants to, and that's what the impeachment all was about. They've been chasing that man where he's been putting his penis while they should have been doing things for the people. So I don't think he needs to breastfeed. I think he breastfed a whole lot in the Washington White House, just like Clinton. Bottom line is, don't trust public figures or any of their notoriety. Thank you, Ms. Tree. Absolutely agree. You cannot trust a politician. Doesn't matter if they look like you, doesn't matter if they talk like you, doesn't matter if they're in your party, doesn't matter if they're in your country. They are doing a job, and around this world it's always for corporations, it's never for you. Fake news, Blue Lady 22, and you are part of the problem if you think Trump is bad. The Democrats are the criminals and bad for this country. You haven't seen a Trump rally. There are more than 65,000. Okay, well, I never said Trump was bad. Did I ever say Trump was bad, people? No, Blue Lady, I never said that. That's the wrong one. I'm not pro anti-Trump. I'm anti-slave. That's what I am. I don't need a leader. I can put on my drawers by myself. I don't need anybody's help. I don't need anybody's laws. I don't need anybody's regulations. Big banks run the country. That's a company. And none of the presidents are ever doing anything for me. Ever. Nothing's any worse from Trump. It's exactly how it's supposed to be. Nothing's any better. It's the same direction. We still blowing up countries, stealing everything. Thou shalt killing, thou shalt stealing. The same way it was with Obama. That's how I get down. I'm not pro or anti-Trump. Am I part of the problem? I'm part of the problem, not because I have any position on Trump. I'm part of the problem because I pay my taxes. I'm part of the problem because I drive a car. I'm part of the problem because I got electricity and I participate in a system that needs to collapse. That's where I'm part of the problem. But certainly it's not my position on politicians because they're all fake. That's just my perspective. I was raised in a family where the intelligent ones never believed in the political system, or the ones who are most intelligent. I just don't believe, Blue Lady. You ain't been here in a minute. Well, how you doing, sis? I ain't seen you in a minute. No, I don't think we should enslave the human race anymore. You know, once we created free energy, we could free everybody. You know, the whole purpose for this conflict-based get a degree system and fight other poor people to steal what they got, like this whole system of the GDP is based in energy. It's based in oil. Now we have free energy. There's no reason to be in conflict with your neighbor. And if I were going to get behind a politician, it would be a politician who wants to free the human race. It would be a politician that believed in freedom, liberty, and the dissolution, the dissolving of democracies all over the planet. I don't believe in democracies. I like the republic. I can't do it Republicans. But republic from a sovereign concept, not from a state concept. I think human beings are sovereign, not systems and states. Well, good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you, girl. Good to see ya. Cast is crass no matter how you paint it. Absolutely. And that's why I'm upset with Trump, Ms. Tree. If I'm upset with him because he didn't collapse America. I was hoping America collapsed. It didn't collapse. The currency didn't collapse. He worked too good with the DNC. I was hoping that they collapsed the whole damn thing so we stopped bombing children. I think we're adults here in America, and it's time that we take it on the brunt of the problem. The whole world been dealing with our problems, and I don't think they should have to deal with our problems anymore. I'm ready for the apocalypse. As long as little children in Yemen can deal with the apocalypse, then I think I'm ready for it. India, where the lower 5-year-olds into narrow holes. Oh yeah, right. In the ground to mine for mica. They do that to them there too. I thought they just did it to the Africans. Used to make all of those glittery cosmetics. Okay, well that's what's happening, Ms. Tree. There's an apocalypse around the world. There's a model of sending children into holes to get coltan and mica, so Americans can have Merry Christmases. And this is what we should be voting for. This is what we should be cheering and fighting over politicians about. Is which nation sends 5-year-olds into holes to get things for us? I think that's a bad idea. I didn't say drink breast milk. I said feed. Okay, thank you, Ms. Tree, for that clarification. I'll tell Daniel. It stimulates the pleasurable peace-inducing oxytocin that's obviously lacked. Okay. Whew, I gotta go. All right, I gotta go. The last couple comments so we can run. Iran. Oh, was it about Iran, Jack? Was that there was something else was going on at India rally? I don't think it's being said in the news. Everybody had white hats. It was a lot of people, and I guess according to Miss Blue Lady, it was close to what Trump pulls here, but that still was a lot of people. I would not have expected that. Did Obama go? And how many people showed up when he went? I don't think people in India pay much attention to U.S. politics, so that's pretty surprising to me. Crowds in India cheat. Oh, that does make sense, Patricia. That does make sense. It does make sense that people who don't have a whole lot of money will show up. But they do it here. It wouldn't surprise me they do it there. Let me see. They gathered in the hopes of hearing good news. Okay, and I would believe that, Jack. That would make sense to me. Trump is just another weapons salesman. He is, Jane. He is. And that's I was hoping that I'd see something different with Trump. I'll be honest with you. I was hoping I'd see something different with Obama. And there was a little bit of differences. There were some differences. I'll be fair. There were some differences. I didn't see enough differences. I need to see the empire stopped. I need the empire to be grinded to a halt. I need the U.S. corporation to be dissolved, and I need the republic of the 50 state countries to come back. That's what I need to see, and I'm not seeing that. I wanted to see the swamp drained. I did not see the swamp get drained. When Obama in, I wanted to see some hopey changey. I got no hope, and I ain't seen not much changey. Okay, namaste in Trump. That's what it was called, Sharon. Namaste in Trump. He was namasteing. I don't know if he did some yoga. I would love to see that. Imagine they gathered with proper teachers and a goal. Well, Jack, but that's growing up. That's growing up. That's like solutions and stuff. If they actually gather and talk about real problems, if every single problem you need to solve is with drones and tanks and bombs, then you got a problem. And that's the biggest problem I have with Trump and Obama. They both agree in blowing up stuff too much, mostly because I think they're not in control. I think you got a military industrial complex, you got a deep state, and you got bankers that tell them exactly what they're going to do. And to me, that's a low vibe thing. If you got to blow up little kids to be proud of your country, then there's something really, really wrong with this world. I can't go along with that. Selling weapons to other countries so they can have food is not something that I think. I think India is one of the beautiful lands in the world. All the greatest technologies. What did Mark Twain say about India? He said everything that was invented, something to the effect of everything that was invented in India like hundreds of years before. India is such a beautiful land, such beautiful people, beautiful things happening there, but they're so poor, I think they'll go for anything. And I don't think handing weapons of war to other countries is a good idea. We shouldn't even have them ourselves. We should be literally melting down tanks and making, electric cars. We should be melting down drones and making anti-gravity ships so people don't have to fly helicopters and airplanes. We literally should be doing something for the American people, and we're not. We're literally destabilizing the world because we're still colonizers. If the cat fits, we need to wear it. That's what I'm saying. So just to be clear, Obama and Trump wear the same hat. They're not the same hat in everything, but in most things. War, slavery, mass incarceration, taking more rights from Americans, Patriot Act, NDAA, sending more troops to die, not giving two damns about the 22 troops that commit suicide every single day. They don't care nothing about that. That's why I'm saying all of these arguments and fighting back and forth, it's all about ego. It's all about people looking in the mirror, putting themselves before everybody else. I can't do politics. And I gotta go before that gets serious, because we joke and we laugh, but really real people die from Americans who are gaslit, who are still playing with this war engine. You literally have a war engine. The GDP is based in blowing up weak people. I just think that presidents should go fight in the wars that they believe in. I think congressmen and senators and voters. I think that everybody should go fight in the wars that they believe in. The war that if these wars are really about your freedom and your democracy and your liberty and your freedoms, then I think you should go fight in them. I don't think you should send poor kids from down the street from the trailer park and down the street who didn't have a choice in the ghetto either to go fight for you. That's what I believe. And I'm not talking to anybody in particular. I'm just saying in general. I believe in thou shalt not kill. You don't sell weapons to a nation for them to thou shalt not kill. You sell them weapons so thou will murder. And they're hungry, and so they take the weapons and they make the deals because their people need to eat. You don't need to make a deal with that. We done stole enough from India, we done stole enough from Africa, we done stole enough from Latin America, we done enslaved the whole world. We can give them what they need. We can give them grow systems to grow food. We can give them the software that allows them to 3D print houses. We can just give it away, right? That's how you build an empire. You know, I said that before. You don't need to build an empire on murdering people. You can build an empire on feeding people. And in fact, if you build an empire on feeding people, you will have more nations that run to you than you will if you're just giving them weapons to go kill other people. Make India great again. Yes, Christine, and you can make India, you can make the whole world great again. Just feed people, take care of people. Selling ideas for peace on earth. Yep, Jack, we can have peace on earth. You know, we have peace on earth whenever Americans actually stand up for what they actually believe in. We could have peace on earth. We have the military, we have the resources, we have the might. We just don't have the consciousness. We don't have the belief and the faith that people pretend that they have a belief in. We don't have people who believe in the founding of America being on freedom and democracy. They believe in manifest destiny and corporations and big banks as patriotism. And that's not patriotism. That's literally being a slave. All right, we need to stop timed obsolescence and manufacture only repairable things. That's it. We need to end artificial scarcity. We need to stop starving people so they'll go fight a war. We need to start housing people. Just keeping, we keep people literally out of houses to keep the house prices up. You know, we need to really solve the mental illness problem. We need to start restraining corporations that are poisoning the population. You know, we need to take DARPA and turn DARPA on to creating technology that cultivates life. You know, we need to stop drugging the Catholic Church. We need to put incense back into the incense burner, not the drugs and psychedelics that get them want to go off bombing the world thinking that God wants them to rebuild a temple when really it's just Satan. Everything that's done on murder and blood and destroying God's children is satanic. That is not, you're not doing anything for Christ. You certainly aren't doing anything for a God that told you thou shalt not kill and steal. Didn't JFK say something about all our problems are man-made, so man is capable of fixing them? We don't need to fix them. Just stop creating them. And that's it, Susan. I agree with you. I totally agree with you and JFK. We don't actually need to fix the problem. Like, I like the idea of giving India and all these different countries and throughout the world, our highest tech, green tech, to allow them to become sustainable and support their populations so that people don't hate us anymore. But we don't actually have to do that. All we really have to do is what Susan and JFK said. Just leave people alone. That's it. People tend to build up their own world if you stop kicking them down. It's just the American way is becoming the whole Western Rothschild, Rockefeller banking way of kicking people when they're down, not helping people when they're up. So we find nations that are poor and weak and they don't have militaries and nukes, and we just kick the hell out of them when we're down, and they convince the American population, who's really largely gaslit, that this is helping somehow, that terrorists around the world are trying to come get them, and literally people around the world just want America to leave them the hell alone. And Britain. And Germany, and Canada. All we have to do is, I agree with you, all we have to do is leave people alone. Let them develop their own systems, let them keep their own form of government, and stop telling other people what to do. Just pretend for once that you aren't the greatest. Just get rid of that sociopathic, narcissistic, indoctrinated nonsense that everything American is better. Everything from the West is right, and everything from everybody else is wrong. Don't get it wrong, people. People in the slums are not all poor. There's a lot of business going on in it. That's true, Christine. You know, in bad neighborhoods, and you always have some little mogul in the neighborhoods that's kind of running things. But poor too, Christine. I don't think poor is as we define it around the world. Like the time I spent in Latin America, the poor people there had food. Like American poverty is nothing like Rothschild banker, United States corporation poverty. Right? People here are poor, get shot and murdered. Right? They have to kill, rob, and steal to survive. People in these poor Latin American, these tropical countries, they all got food. They all got houses, they got food. They have jackfruit trees, they had grapefruit, They had all kind of citrus. They were eating. It's just poverty here. See, the beautiful thing about the people that I met there, they own their land. Americans don't own anything. Everything is on barter, or everything is on loan. And the Rothchilds and Rockefellers, the banks, they take it back when you die. Because you'll have Alzheimer's and you can't afford the medical bills. We need this to stop. I just don't see any American presidents doing anything significant for Americans. That's how I know they're not American presidents. They're all put in there by people that we don't seem to know. But they definitely they don't do anything for America. So whoever's calling the shots in America does not live in America. It doesn't give two damns about Americans. My seditious heart. Okay, who's that? Arunti Roy. Thank you, Jane. Like Gaddafi in Libya did. Such a paradise he created. He tried, Christine, but America was not having that. Well, it wasn't America. Once again, it's whoever controls all of this. They weren't having that. They needed to make sure that they kept Africa on its knees. And so they had to kill Gaddafi, and both parties cheered. That was a two-party thing. That's why I don't think political parties are any answer for any of this. As a society, they are choosing the path of least resistance in the interest of self-preservation. Okay, I hear what you're saying. Absolutely. Okay, they need infrastructure, which is always a tool used to own populations. India has always been an ally, very much the same as Canada is. If India chooses to embrace the will of the IDU, then they believe they control the board. India's just better paying their bills. India just better pay their bills. Well, right. So, and I agree with that, right? It's always about infrastructure. When people have a need, they'll do anything for that need. If they're hungry, they're gonna do anything for food. And it's a great way to make a slave out of India, the same way they make slaves out of Americans, right? If you can't pay your bills, you die. And so India, of course, people will show up for a rally if you promise billions of dollars because they have businesses and they have bellies. So that makes a whole lot of sense. We are the answer, and we are the answer, Jack. We, capital W-E, we are the answer. When we realize that we're cousins all over this planet, when we realize that nations don't really exist, you've got just big corporations who own interest in lands that keep everybody in conflict, then you realize that the politicians aren't the way. When you put a capital we, then you realize that you need to treat everybody like your cousins. If your cousin calls you, they need food, you don't say, well, I'll sell you this gun. You buy my guns, I'll help you with infrastructure. Right? You don't say that to your cousin. When your cousin calls you, they need food, you send food to your cousin. That's what the human race has to become. We only have two options. We either come together as a human race and we start doing things for humanity and fixing all the damage we've done on this planet, or we just sit here and we keep playing this game and we keep handing it to the billionaires and the elites that run every damn thing. They literally own us. George Carlin said it best. You don't have a government. You're not a citizen. They own you. And the right seem to know that. But then they lost it in conflict with the left. Our only options are you hand everything to corporations, you either break the chains that bind you, either free the human race, or we just march towards enslavement. That's all. The only options we got. All right, I gotta get going. We could have a large enough group to arrest the warmongers. We could, Jack. We certainly could. We need a large group. Well, we do. That's why I appreciate anybody sharing, liking, and subscribing. I'm not saying I got the answers, but I know a lot of people who've got great answers, and we need to start walking in that direction. All right, I gotta go. This is Gerard. Love y'all to death. Y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.
See everyone happy. We can have this and more if we open up the doors. Well, what do you think about that? Do you want to free, boom, boom, free the people? Do you want to free, boom, boom?
Soundtrack by Brother Pat Riley.
Mother Nature too. Close down all the zoos. boom, 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 boom. Do you wanna free, 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 boom, boom, free the people? Do you wanna free, boom, 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 free the people from the bottom?